https://discord.gg/flatearth.
Welcome to 24/7 Flat Earth Discord channel. Be sure to go to VC Check and 1 to get your VC verification tags to get involved in the conversation about our Earth. Be sure to bring your verifiable Earth curvature evidence, though.
24/7 God Globe Evidence Fishing Part 1.
Everything, is perfectly consistent.
You didn't use a globe to predict anything, so it doesn't matter.
Actually fake.
But you didn't use the globe to predict anything, so it doesn't matter. You didn't show us whether you used the globe radius or any of that, so it's irrelevant to proving the globe.
What? Like satellites are irrelevant to the globe?
Yes, because you're not showing us where you're actually even using the radius in your calculations or anything, so what do we need a globe for?
I told you where the radius is relevant. For deriving the mass, if you want to do it that way, but there's other ways to derive the mass even.
Yeah, how are you going to weigh the Earth? You don't even know how big this.
Cavendish is your only hope, and that's not even a scientific experiment anyway.
By observing, for example, right, you can observe the effect on other orbits of Earth, on other bodies, and triangulate in the sky or through parallax. And therefore, from that, you can also derive an estimate of the mass.
An estimate, so it's not a measurement. It's not actually like concrete fact. It's just calculating something using other assumptions.
Okay, I mean, there's no way to account for every single atom that is gravitationally bound at one time.
Dude, it's real simple. Quit trying to get away from this. All you need to do is get the size of it, so that'll be the radius or circumference. Then you'll need the density, and then from that you can weigh the Earth. Well, you can do a calculation for its mass. But the first thing you need is the radius. Why won't you just give us that?
You want me to just tell you the radius? What's the point?
No, I know what you're going to tell me. I want to know how it was measured.
I mean, all the experiments that I would bring up, you obviously have already looked up and refuted for yourself. So why would there be any point in me making that argument?
Well, name a single experiment.
Yeah. Don't make a derivative globe argument about satellites then if you don't want to deal with the first part, which is the radius. And yeah, go ahead and name an experiment, like Spake said.
And give us the full scientific method, the observation, the hypothesis, the independent, dependent.
Oh my God, Jesus Christ. You guys are not capable of having a conversation.
What do you mean? I just asked you, I articulated a concise question for you to somehow rebuttal and give us the information that you're claiming you have. If you've got an experiment, you'll know the specifics, surely. No?
No, I don't know anything. You're
right. I mean, you
must have been deceived. The Earth must be flat.
Well, bro, you're claiming experiments, so if you've got an experiment, just even if you don't know too much about it, just give us it, because we've probably been through it before.
I mean, no. I've given you plenty of ways to derive these things, right? I've mentioned them. I'm not gonna come up with some kind of arbitrary standard.
I've just came back. I just went and got a bit of weed. I never heard you giving anything, so I'm just asking you if you've got an experiment, please present it, and we'll go through it.
Yeah.
We're not trying to give you a gotcha and say, oh, you're a fucking idiot, unless you act like one, surely. But if you've got one, bro, we're happy to have a conversation about it, man. That's why we're here.
What, specifically to find a measurement method of Earth's radius that you haven't ever heard of before?
No, one that you have, because maybe you'll be mistaken, and maybe we might be able to help you, correct you, and give you information you maybe never heard before, because we've been going through these arguments for years. I've known about this for almost 10 years, so we've got a lot of experience in this.
No. The problem is, right, everything, all of these things are relevant for the whole satellite thing to work, right? These measurements need to be accurate.
Yeah, exactly. So if you don't have them, it won't work.
And
before
any satellite went in the sky, even Sputnik, they would have had to know the radius to put it up there. If it's going through anything, look at all the geostationary satellites that are up there. They must have had a radius before they put them up there. So who actually measured it? Apart from Eratosthenes, he stuck some sticks in the ground and calculated the shadows and the difference, which is not a measurement either. It's just a calculation, and it's not an experiment either.
How is that not a measurement or what?
It's just a calculation. It's not like a measurement of the drop that's supposedly here over however much distance.
It is though.
There should be a geometric horizon. There should be the point where the Earth drops down in a way where you can no longer see any further. So somebody must have measured it, surely.
And all of those things exist.
What does?
There exists a horizon. There
What is
exists
it?
like
What
actual
is the
measurements
horizon?
and experiments, like the sticks in the ground, right? You measure the
No,
angle
go
and the
back to the
distance
horizon.
between them. If you know both,
No,
you
go
can
back to
derive
no,
the radius
no.
of the Earth
You're scattergunning.
quite
Go
clearly.
back to the horizon. Go back. What is the horizon? Just before you started all that statement you made there, can you define the horizon?
Why are we going deeper? Like I thought you guys wanted to know the radius.
I'm asking you, how do you, what's your definition of the horizon?
No. Let's stop moving the goalposts, right? Let's
You
stick to
said it.
let's stick to that experiment then.
No,
You said it's not an experiment or a measurement, right? It's a calculation.
Bro, I don't
What's
have
the
to meet you if
difference?
you're trying to keep talking over the top of me, man. You said
I
horizon,
mean,
right? Listen, man, stop talking over me. I don't talk over you, bro. So I'm just asking you, what's your definition of the horizon?
you gave it definition. I told you it exists. What are you asking me for?
I'll give you the definition. It's a point where the sky and the floor appear to meet. It's not. They don't actually meet, and it fluctuates depending on whatever your height, your elevation is, your optics you're using, whatever's in the atmosphere, particles, moisture. So it fluctuates constantly. So there's never been anyone ever be able to measure drop over distance and have it 100% guarantee that's what it is, because the horizon moves constantly.
But do you think you can't account for that? Like the formula that you could come up with could include a variable for the height at which you're looking at it?
Yes.
But you can work it out. That's what we're saying. You can work out how far you can see depending on your elevation, optics, atmospheric conditions, blah, blah,
Yes,
blah.
indeed.
So there's curve calculators out there. Sorry, I stuttered that there. But there's curve calculators out there. The Mick West one, he's a staunch anti-flat earther. You can use that. And we could go through an image called the Black Swan if you want. And
Right.
I don't know if you've heard of that. But it's basically oil. There's two oil rigs platforms, and the horizon is beyond the second one, where according to the globe math, it should be in front of the first one. And then there's a picture from a different day at the same spot, and the horizon is like the
Okay.
sea
Can
is.
we go with the simple experiment? You guys know the lake experiment?
That'll not be an experiment. Bro.
It's what?
That won't be an experiment. You can be an
Won't be an
observation.
experiment.
Hey, Spake, real quick. Quetz and Warden are both muted right now for some reason. Go ahead.
I can't mute people. I can locally mute them. I can kick them from the room supposedly, but I've not muted anyone.
No, it's a bug. I think if they're new to the server or something, I'm not quite sure. Yeah,
I've
see,
not got rules, maybe.
just like mute them and then unmute them again. Then they're getting
No,
unmuted.
no,
They
but
like can't join the like user created channels otherwise.
I've not got mod mutes. I've not got that high up. I'm only able to local, so I can
No, yeah.
locally mute you, but everyone
Yeah,
was still
exactly.
here.
No,
I'm
not
not able to
locally.
unmute.
No, you can server mute them for your channel. Like you're like the
Yeah,
king of this channel.
no, it doesn't say that when I go into it.
I mean, if
It's
you right click on them, there isn't a red button like sound server mute.
on the phone. I'm on an Android.
It should be the same.
And when I drag the screen to the right, I've got the bot command room, but I've been hunting to try and find out how to work the bot. And
No, just long press on one of those users and then you get the menu.
I'm not able. I already tried. As soon as he said he was muted, I checked, but it's no, I can't unmute anyone.
You can't unmute them, but you can server mute them and then de-server mute them, and that's going to remove the regular mute as well.
Bro, I've only got one mute and it's local. That's all I can do. I've already looked at it. As soon as they said it, I looked. And it's only got a local mute. I can't fucking server mute them. I can't. You need fucking permissions from politics to be doing that shit.
Interesting.
Which hopefully will give me back, because I used to have perms in here, man. We had a room. But this is a perfect little place. Get back to the earth. Get back to the earth, bro. Can you see if you you drag up the text channel? Can you see a text channel for this room? Because on Android, I just drag the screen to the right and there's a text channel, but not everyone can see it. So I don't know if you can see it, and we could post images in there of the black swan, and we can go through it. Yes, no? I'm talking to myself here, boys. I've not even got it, but you got it handy, Heretic. I've not got it in this phone.
They won't let me post anything there.
Fuck. I'll go back and get it from the server, man. No, in fact, I have got it. Fuck, it's away down here, man. But I don't know. Can you see this room, bro? I don't know. What's his name? What's the guy's name?
I think he left.
Oh, for fuck's sake, man. Oh, well. Another one back to dust. We need to fix the text room. Bro, we need to fix the text room. And I need to be able to find out how you ban these motherfuckers.
He's in AI can reason room. Oh well, another one will come by soon.
Oh, aye, fucking right. See, as long as there's a few of us sitting here like that. Bing. Hey, Parsival. Hello, my friend.
What are you guys
Welcome.
talking about here?
Pardon? I never heard you, sorry.
You guys talking about the flat Earth?
Yeah, man. What do you think of the shape and motion of the Earth? Do you believe you're on a ball barreling through space in different directions at millions of miles per hour? Yeah? What makes you think that, bro?
Isn't it interesting the way like everything in the sky is like
Right.
revolving around the Earth in the exact same way, right? It's almost as if the Earth is spinning.
There's 88 constellations that have been the same since they were named, at least, or before it. And obviously, they named them over the centuries and millennia, and gods and fucking animals, and God knows what's up there. Forgive the pun, but the fucking stars, the constellations don't change. They're constant. They rotate in concentric circles like they always have done. The planets move back and forth in the sky when they're supposedly in retrograde, they call it nowadays. So the Greeks named them wanderers because they made different motions in the sky. So we're obviously not barreling in different vectors at millions of miles per hour. It's fucking ridiculous. Even one vector, everything would have to be the same, and each year it would have to stay as it was. But you add in more vectors, like the other three, and
the moon and the Earth, they go in the same direction, right?
East to west, supposedly.
Okay, so why isn't there anything that goes from west to east?
The planets go back and forth in retrograde. I couldn't tell you specifically where and when, because I've not looked that in depth into fucking retrograde and planets. But we're obviously not moving in different vectors, bro. You add an extra one vector, fair enough. Okay, I'll give you that. You add more vectors, and then you bump the speed up to millions of miles per hour through a fucking vacuum. While we've not got any
all the constellations, they go together, right? But if
right?
the Earth wasn't spinning, like it would be perfectly possible that there would be one constellation that would go in the opposite direction, right? Or just not even in the along the circles of the parallels, right? Like it might just go up and down or something, right?
Bro, the point is the constellations remain fixed. We're barreling through space in different vectors. We could go through them.
If you believe, if I understand your position correctly, your argument has to be that the constellations revolve around the Earth every single day. Do they?
Is that what it looks like?
Yeah, right.
There you go.
And then you can say like, oh, it's not actually that they're revolving around the Earth; it's that the Earth is spinning, right? That's the.
Why would you think that when you're completely motionless right now? You've got a vestibular system in your inner ear that, like, people that have got problems with their balance, that's where they get issues, and it's like a gyro in your fucking mind.
Stay on one thing, right? Right, like all the constellations, they go together, right?
Right. So
why is that?
But you're asking why. We're trying to establish.
I have the answer. Why? The answer is because the Earth is spinning, right?
Right, but
you
what
have
makes
to
you that?
You have to construct an alternate explanation for that, right?
What do we don't have to construct anything, my friend. Sorry, man,
Yeah,
but we don't. We've got reality. Listen,
you could just be like, "Oh, it's too complicated for me." But then, like, why are you here telling me that the Earth is flat, right?
Bro?
If you're gonna tell me that the Earth is flat, please explain to me how that works.
We don't have to, bro. We don't have to give you a story.
So you don't know what you're
Alright,
talking
you speaking over me, bro. Yeah, you said something, Matt, like, and then I couldn't get into you, and then as soon as I start speaking again, you start talking. How are you going to realise what we're talking about? Listen, we don't feel motion. Do you accept that you feel no motion right now? Do you accept that? You experience a motionless Earth.
He bounced.
For fuck's sake, man. They're like fucking complete imbeciles, man. I should see this guy I tried to, last time before. And this geezer, man, he never had a clue. When I was hitting him with the grass pressure, he was like looking pure, eyes rolling about in his head, and he walked away. I was like, put the YouTube in your phone. And he's like walking away. Like zombie.
Politics journeyman among us here. It's Severus. Hi there, sir.
You take a head.
Severus, you there?
Hello.
Hello, my friend.
Yeah, go ahead, Spake. I'm just
No,
making
you
comments.
go. Hey, how you doing, brother? Anyway, I'm not sure what your name is. Then I'm
You
not
mean
sure what your
Chris?
Chris. I can't. I'm
What?
unable to bring it. How you doing, bro?
Good.
Yeah. So, what brings you to the flat Earth discussion? Have you looked into this kind of stuff, or what's the deal?
I just wanted to listen, I guess.
All right, that's cool, man. Well, the other guy just bounced as soon as I tried to get him to stop talking and listen, but he just disappeared. The other guy disappeared as well. So you've got the floor if you want to talk, man, or you want to ask a question to an actual flat earther, because a lot of the shit you'll see online is literally controlled opposition. I don't know, have you heard of the Flat Earth Society by any chance?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when you think of them, would you say they're legitimate flat? I mean, most people think that's what flat Earth is. Like, they claim we're on a disk. They say all the planets are spheres, but we're on a disk that's accelerating upwards at 9.8 meters per second squared. So when you drop something, basically, it's not falling, the ground's travelling up to meet it. So flat earthers don't think that, mate. That is literally disinformation, and from people, the Flat Earth Society, from controlled opposition. As far as we're concerned, they're making a mockery of what we are saying. So you've actually got real flat earthers here for once, man. So it's up to you, bro, if you want to ask a question. Like, if you're not sure how something would work on the flat earth. Sorry, I'm talking like fuck because I just smoked my joint.
And we also got Mandala here too. If you want to chime in, go ahead, buddy.
Yeah, man. Anybody.
Severus
Mandala.
versus gone.
Oh, mate, see, when I reset the screen there and went back, I can server mute people. I never even saw that before.
Ah, good. Okay. Yeah, take these dudes off mute, like Quetz, take him off mute, and Marvis, Tios.
Oh, is everybody muted when they come in? Like,
I think this Mandela guy is probably muted. Hey, Mandela.
Hey, what's up, guys?
hey, Mandela, you muted there, bro. Were you unable to speak when you came in the room?
I just joined the server, so.
Oh, right, cool. Sorry, on you go ahead, Dick.
Yeah. Okay. What brings you to this topic?
I joined because the link was in 24/7.
Oh,
Okay,
you came from 24/7.
Yeah.
Oh, that's no fun. We're looking for growth.
This is I don't know, what would you call it? An outpost, the 24/7 Flat Earth Discord outpost out in fucking no man's land.
I know.
Zombie.
That's why I was hoping there would be some action, but.
Sorry.
Yeah, there will be soon. There's always people jumping in and out of here. Like, we just had a couple. They both bounced, but there's going to be someone soon. There always is.
Yeah.
It's big server.
It's good advertisement for 24/7 as well, man.
I noticed we've got a lot more spiralers in the lobby lately than usual. I think maybe this is having an effect.
Right, man. It's a good fucking option, man. We could never do this in 24/7. Allow people to make rooms. Jesus Christ.
That'd be a dumpster fire.
Be deleted by the next day, man. You wake up and the curve will be gone. It shows you more bias for the flat earth subject there. Because we're flat earthers, we'll get hammered. These fucking assholes, they can do what they want. They're talking about Hitler, the Jews. They're all like, they literally come into text channels and say fucking I hate Jews, N-word, fucking this. Like the guy came in last night and that's what he said. I never even knew I could server mute people.
Good. Now you can shut them down.
I'll find out how to ban them though.
Ola cometh.
Hello.
Good day, sir.
I came here for a flat Earth debate.
Hey, you're in the right place.
All right. Do you want to debate for flat Earth or against?
I want to debate for flat Earth.
Oh, right, shit.
God damn it. Another flat earther. We want a Globy. Flat
Okay,
Earth.
fine. I wanted to roleplay as a flat earther, but
Okay. It's
Thought you
more
were.
fun to argue with Globers.
Hmm?
Flat Earthers is just like, yeah, we know. Yeah, water's flat. Yeah, it's not much excitement.
well, my argument for why the Earth is round and a
That
globe,
is not.
because that's what makes sense in the context of my current understanding of physics.
Well,
Does it make sense in context of hydrostatics, water seeking a flat level surface at rest?
I have no idea what any of that means.
Well, it's simple, right? When water is at rest, right, a body of water, it'll have a flat surface, right?
Sure, it spreads its whatever evenly.
water level, sea level, spirit levels.
Yes.
We've been using water in construction for centuries. Well, so history says, but I believe they probably never had to use water back when they were building all these crazy structures because they had complete control in matter. I think they were able to fucking fluctuate it and lift it and fucking cut it into precise. Look at all the pure walls that are everywhere. Look at the Nasdaq lines and shit. Look at all the shit that was made. They weren't. This was a fucking highly advanced race of people before whoever it was took over. The Freemasons, the Rothschilds, all these names have been given to us, but whoever took over before, we were mind-boggling the high technology we would have had back then before it all got fucking taken.
Yeah.
But
So
we'll
really
get there
what I'm saying is water seeks a flat level surface when at rest. 71% of the known territory is said to be covered in water. Therefore, the Earth cannot be a globe because globes have curved surfaces.
What? Okay, but
water's flat. Most of the Earth is covered in water. Globes don't have flat surfaces. Therefore, Earth is not a globe.
But if there's a center of gravity strong enough, then it just goes towards that, right?
What's gravity then? What would you say gravity?
Question.
Well, there's a couple of explanations that they give us that maybe over a century ago. They claimed they were using Newton, and then Einstein came along with a big pile of maths and equations. He says, "Look, I've constructed a fucking a complete fucking mind-boggling fucking." So the people that are like highly intelligent, highly advanced, they're the only people that can work all that shit out. It's that fucking like mind-boggling, man. Because I've been on I've known about flat Earth for so long now. It hits me so often, man. How extreme it is, like how fucking crazy this whole fucking system is. Fucked up.
Can you guys hear me?
Sorry,
Yes.
I'm rambling on there. Sorry, boys.
Oh, okay, I didn't know if this mic was working.
It's working out.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, man. Yeah, if you can, bro, share the link. If you're in any servers, like any sort of busy servers, share the link for this room. And if we can get like other servers coming here as well, if you can, bro.
I'm not just gonna go promote your room. You're gonna have to earn it.
Well, hey, I've earned it. Coming up for 5 years, I've
I
been.
just got here. I'm sure you're doing fine. I literally just got here.
Yeah.
You see curvature?
How you doing, bro?
Hi, mate.
I do see curvature.
Where do you
when
see
I go to the
curvature?
beach. When I go to the beach.
Can you describe it?
Sure. So where I go to the beach, there is a boardwalk, and the boardwalk has a railing. And that railing is level. It is leveled by a gravitational level, which you would typically see from a carpenter.
A gravitational level. I'm a builder. I don't know what they are.
Oh, okay.
He's a
So
fucking
this is a level with a liquid inside a tube that operates based on gravity. And there is an air pocket.
That's not how they work.
And that air pocket will float to the top because the liquid.
So you're
floats to the bottom.
you're saying they built
right?
they built the boardwalk with a builder's level. Is that what you're saying?
That's correct.
That's okay. It only works on the flat Earth.
Being a builder, you might be familiar on how a level might be used to level a railing.
Yeah, because water always
said
flat
railing
and horizontal.
does not conform with the curvature of the ocean.
Wait a minute, curvature of the ocean.
The particular geography of this beach is that the ocean spreads out very far in either direction.
One sec, you said it's
on a cape.
One sec, you said that the railing's leveled, right? And then you said that that doesn't conform to the curvature of the ocean, but doesn't the ocean seek its level? Isn't it sea level?
But at levels.
Yes, that's correct.
You just
in fact, the level itself operates on the same gravitational force as the ocean.
Whoa.
That is correct.
So wouldn't it curve with it?
The difference. Oh, it absolutely does curve with it if it was
You said it doesn't.
freeform, but it's contained in a tube within the level.
So gravity.
Therefore, it's not allowed to conform. Now, if you were to take a microscope and look, well, I can definitely hear my mic working now because somebody's got a little bit of an echo going on.
Yeah,
can everybody shut up? Can everybody shut the fuck up, man? Fuck's sake. There's like 4 of you talking at once. It's just like blah, 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 blah. And nobody can hear anything anybody's saying. Try and have a couple of backs and forth and then let it pass to someone else or some shit. So it just is a coherent conversation, boys. Fuck's sake.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I just had a quick question though. It sounds like you're saying, hold on. I just want to ask a quick question. What you said sounds like you're saying that gravity causes.
I thought you wanted an answer.
Sounds like you're saying gravity causes sea level, right?
You're still talking at once, boys.
I don't know what sea level is.
What?
You don't. Okay. We need to talk to someone more qualified.
Hello.
Oh, I'm not qualified to see the curvature of the Earth? Okay.
No, who has?
Then move on.
Has anybody ever measured it? Drop over distance from one point to another? The Earth dropping down from the position you're in.
Yeah, you just put a stick in the water and you measure how much difference there is.
No, a stick in the ground, you mean? So they calculate the shadows, but that's not a measurement of drop over a set distance, man.
Yeah, it is. If you just put like a stick in a body of water, you can measure how much it drops relatively.
Yeah. The best part about that story was that the level itself, the liquid within
That's a drop in elevation.
Also conforms to the curvature of the Earth.
What level conforms to
a microscope to measure it?
Level conforms to curve?
In your pipe and smoke it.
Yeah, you are smoking something.
I was just seeing if my mic worked.
It ain't doing you any good, whatever it is.
It was somebody, and I want to make sure that.
Oh man, I just got a bang in the back grass. I swear, I just smoked fucking a joint for the first time in about 3 days, and I'm melted out my mind.
He said that level conforms to curve.
Which curve does it conform to?
The liquid within the level. Do you need me to send you a picture of a carpenter's level?
Just send me a picture of a curved ocean. How about that'll end this all once and for all.
Oh, I'll take one next time I'm at the beach.
Okay, thank you.
Do you believe NASA's fake?
Well, they show a cartoon picture of the Earth with curving oceans all over it, but if you actually go to an ocean, you'll see that it doesn't curve. So, yeah, their pictures are fake.
Well, that's not my experience at all.
But what do you mean, go like physically in person?
Yeah, if you go to the ocean and try to check for curvature, the same curvature that they're purporting to show. It's,
you need a wide breadth of ocean to look at so that you can see the curvature.
Well, we only need, 10 miles is plenty 10 miles is plenty of ocean to be looking at for curvature drop, because there should be a geometric horizon if you're standing 6 feet above sea level at 3 miles out. So if you got a camera, a telephoto lens, or something, you can zoom in that far, and you're seeing a horizon beyond 3 miles, there's no curvature drop there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, some people got to skip geometry in middle school.
Well, Spake is gonna. Yeah, you did, but Spake is gonna get you caught up now. Check the chat.
I scored a perfect score on the math SAT because
Okay,
of it.
well,
But
yeah,
thanks for
we're
playing.
gonna take you up another notch here. Check the chat.
Okay. But you can.
I can't check the
could you wait? Could you check curvature by having somebody be in a boat and somebody else just go out, right? And then just at some point you won't be able to make visual contact with them anymore.
We're gonna do all this right now. Check the chat.
It was done. What's the guy's name down at the canals in England? What's his name? Fucking
Robotham. Samuel Robotham.
Robotham, that's a man. He did it. You could just Google it. You can get the PDF, the whole thing. Just Google it.
Yeah, there's also laser tests done by the military and universities. There's also FE Corps, Field Engineer Corps. So they got up to about 40 kilometres over an ice lake. And no curvature detected. So there you go.
That's 25 miles, was it? And there was 90 meters of missing curvature.
Why would there be a global conspiracy around this?
Global
doesn't matter.
Well,
doesn't
I mean,
matter.
That's the thing. People call flat Earth a conspiracy theory. Flat Earth's not a conspiracy theory. The globe Earth is the conspiracy theory. People have conspired for generations.
Why are people
No
conspiring?
matter why. Oh, but
This?
we can speculate. We're not the people lying, so we can speculate, bro. But that's not good enough for most people. They want us to somehow prove why they did it. I mean, does that really matter when we're dealing with evidence of reality?
You can infer motivations, perhaps, right?
Yeah, I mean,
not
we
really, because you can never confirm them.
No,
infer, not confirm.
Here's what we can do.
That's why. Sorry.
Bro, they won't.
That's all good.
They want control of the mind. If you're convinced you live on a spinning space ball, barreling in different directions, you evolved from a big bang in primordial soup, supposedly, and then you basically, even if you don't like space, you don't really like science, that's in your back of your mind and your subconscious that you really mean nothing. Life doesn't matter. You're on a 9-to-5 job. You've got shit with your family, the kids, fucking whatever. They've got loads of shit in your life if you're in the working class, and that's what they want from the education system. Loads of worker bees. So that's a good reason for it. Financial, so they can do basically what they want. And then the psychological thing. So I mean, that's two good things. Bro, one more thing, sorry. It makes you think that there's no creator. I mean, most globe earthers would say that they're atheists, which is a religion all of itself.
No, try again there, buddy. The overwhelming majority of people who accept reality are Christians or are religious.
Well, if Islam's the biggest fucking religion, that statement you made is not true, surely. Unless I misheard you.
Yes, most people who are Muslims accept the globe Earth.
Real quick though. Just really quick before you guys go further.
Also accept the fact that the Earth is a sphere.
Okay, before you go further though, just real quick about the last conversation. You don't need to know why somebody lied to prove that they lied, right? If somebody says, "I got a Ferrari," and then you go and falsify that claim, they have no Ferrari. They've never been seen with a Ferrari. They got no paper trail to prove they have a Ferrari. You falsified the claim. You don't need to know why he lied about it in order to prove that it's not true. So all you have to do is take their globe claim, test it out. If it fails, it doesn't matter why they did it. The claim is just false. Anyway, go ahead.
Please
There's
explain
a
to me
difference between the truth of what the Earth is like, right? And like the way people portray it. I mean, every culture's had a cosmology.
Yeah, most of them have been flat.
Just go back to what I was trying to say back then when you mentioned the Muslims and Christians. That all comes from the same book, the Torah or the Tanakh. That's where it all comes from. So the Old Testament is just a diluted version of what's in the Torah. So that all, and it says in the Torah that it's immovable. And God, it says it multiple times, as far as I know, it's 2 times at least. But it says that in Allah, in the Quran, Allah flattened the earth. Sotaha. That's the only Arabic word I know. Apart from Assalamu alaikum. That's about it. But Allah, flattened the earth, man. And so, if the Muslims look into it, and there is Muslim Discord server, I'll give you a link to it if you want. There's good guys in there. Royal and I can't remember the other guy's name. Fucking MJ and somebody else, I can't remember. But anyway, man, it all comes to the same book, the same words, the same God. And they don't like to admit it. If you speak to a Christian or a Muslim, they don't like to admit it's the same God. They'll argue with you. I mean, Jesus supposedly spoke Aramaic, and the word for God in Aramaic is Allah. So, and they don't like that as well when you tell them that shit. Sorry, I went on for a bit there. Stone, sorry.
You're hot, Mike.
Did you ever unmute Jesus Candy? That's another guy who's been in here for a bit and he hasn't been able to talk, I don't think.
Which one? The one with the bird?
Yeah.
There you go.
Well, he's a politics leader. He should have mic perms. I don't know.
Yeah. Hey, you're unmuted, bro. Sorry, I'm not used to having to unmute in this room. I never thought that it was a thing. So you can speak now, bro, if you want to. Jesus Candy, you've got control of your mic, my friend. Nobody's gonna bite your head off. It's a chill conversation in here, man. No, you're unmuted, man. If you want to chime in, that's up to you. Well, anyway,
I've got a question for Kamath. If we can have just a civil conversation without you interrupting, would you like to answer a question?
Me interrupting? Yeah, sure.
Just he wasn't the interrupter.
Maybe it's the wrong.
It was that other Dante guy who's gone. But go ahead, Timbo.
Oh, he's gone. Okay, no, sorry then. That's all right. Well, I'll ask you then. Ever in your life have you ever experienced curvature and rotation of the Earth?
I don't know what that would look like, experiencing the curvature. I guess not. I mean, I've been in a plane and boats.
Did you see the curvature from the plane?
I wouldn't really say I saw the curvature. I just saw a change in scale.
Yeah. And what about the boat? What did you see in the boat?
Well, just water. Just plain horizon level water.
Yeah, but did you see curvature in the boat? Because I said, have you ever experienced curvature or rotation? And you said, well, I've been in a plane and a boat. So I was just wondering if maybe you experienced curvature in a plane or a boat.
I mean, the plane flies through a trajectory that, counteracts curvature by flying... I don't know what the fucking ratios again. So I've been in a curvature.
You've been in a curvature?
Well, not necessarily in it, but I've traveled over the globe, right? So I've had to deal with it, but I didn't personally experience
the question of it being a globe by saying I've flown from live on a sphere. It's not really evidence of a sphere, is it? Because they say you're flying over a sphere. In your mind, you think you're flying over a sphere, but in reality, you've never seen this sphere and never had to do anything to counteract that you live on a sphere.
I haven't run any physics experiments where I checked. No.
Oh, there aren't any. Yeah, you save your time, man.
Well, pilots
you haven't seen the pendulum? You haven't seen the pendulum?
Foucault's pendulum? Do you want to? You're back. Do you want to
What's
talk
it
about
called?
the pendulum?
Oh yeah, no, that'd be great.
It's called Foucault's pendulum.
Yeah. So, can you explain Foucault's pendulum then?
No, I'm asking. I was asking.
No, you brought it up.
You seem to know the name of it.
No,
what I asked was, you haven't seen the pendulum? Right.
Yeah, so can you explain
now,
it
seems that you have, in fact, seen the pendulum. I would like you to explain it to me.
No, it's your argument.
Well,
Not my
who's
argument.
making an argument, sir? I just asked if you've seen the pendulum.
But do you think
You
too many
seem
soy?
you
I think
seem
you've
to
had
know
too many
you
soy
seem
lattes today,
you
mate.
seem
You
to
need
know you seem to know
very
all about this
passionate.
pendulum.
Lads,
So I would
Very
love to hear what you have
I'm
to
going
say
to
about
mute
it,
you if
sir.
you don't shut the fuck up, man. If you're just going to keep talking over us, I'm just going to mute you. I don't want to have to do that. Fuck's sake, let us speak and you'll speak, and then it'll be you'll actually fucking learn what we're talking about instead of assuming shit. So the
Are you
Foucault
day
pendulum,
drinking?
bro, do you think the Foucault pendulum is evidence
6 o'clock in the
of
morning, you fucking loser.
movement?
Not
Like,
here, you fucking loser.
bro, do you think Foucault's pendulum is evidence for the globe? Are you going to
What?
answer me? There's no comment. Who is it speaking?
Do you think that it's evidence for? Are you a
I was
round earther,
asking
dude?
you, bro, I was going to ask you that. Do you
Got
brought it
drunk.
up? Do you think it's evidence?
But no, it's not evidence of anything.
Right,
It
so
just starts. But if you hang a heavy enough pendulum on a free enough swing, it just starts swinging. I don't know why it does it.
it doesn't.
I asked if
No,
you
it
had
doesn't
seen
start
it.
swinging.
I had asked
That
if you
doesn't
saw it.
happen.
You know.
Bro,
You need to start the pendulum, bro. You need to swing the pendulum. They say this.
and they
Doesn't
use
just start.
magnets. They use magnets as well, bro. Magnets, and they have to put
Yeah.
energy into the system. They need.
I
It
mean,
won't keep going itself. If it was proof of Earth motion, surely it would go all the time. You get perpetual energy from it. But they have to start it. They have to keep it going, and they use magnets as well.
So why doesn't the guy tell us what swinging a pendulum proves?
Proves.
Yeah, why doesn't he?
have you guys ever like watched a boat in the water till it like
was directed
went
at
all
you,
the
bro.
way?
We're not done with the pendulum.
Yeah,
the guy who brought up the pendulum. You swing the pendulum, and the pendulum swings. What does that tell you about the Earth?
Monte, that's your question, mate.
See, this is how it goes. The globe proofs are so shit. The globers don't even understand them.
Can you make a map of the Earth?
That's because we're not fucking ponies.
The globers, yeah, but you guys don't even know what your tricks are supposed to be. You don't even know your tricks.
You guys
What
also
about-
defer
It's
all
because
the
we
way.
don't sit around with a bunch of Australians pretending we're fucking smart in a room talking about one goddamn topic all fucking day and then asking people to advertise for the
So
stupid
you
fucking
bring up
room.
you bring up a pendulum. You bring up a pendulum, then we say, okay, what about the pendulum?
And look at you guys, 4 guys in a fucking tizzy. What about the pendulum? What about it? Oh, fuck off, pendulum.
Yeah,
Oh, what
you
about
brought
it?
up a pendulum.
It's
and you
magnets.
don't
It's
seem to know-
magnets, dude.
You don't seem to know why you brought it up to begin with.
Of course I brought it, dude. I brought it up like I bring anything to flat earthers. Like
Yeah,
I just talked
So
about.
what
I
does-
talked about
okay,
the beach.
So tell me.
I talked about the beach and the railing, and you guys were like,
So
"Oh
tell
yeah,
me,
but
so
the
tell me,
railing, dude,
so
the
tell
level,
me.
dude."
Guy, calm down.
The
You'll
carpenter
be okay.
who built the railing,
It'll
he
be
used to
okay.
level, dude. I'm a carpenter.
It'll be okay.
It'll be okay.
He's out of control. Wait. So you brought up a pendulum. You swing a pendulum. What does that tell you? You swing a pendulum. What does that tell you? Why can't you tell us?
Dante, you're muted until you calm yourself down. Take a breath. I'm going to unmute you, man. Please just chill.
Yeah, tell us what the pendulum shows you. You swing a pendulum. Now what? Nothing.
Great.
I've unmuted you, brother. You're able to speak again, man. Just
Oh,
please
I'm
chill.
sorry. I didn't know I was voiced. Oh, okay. Hey.
Mate, we're not trying to have an argument.
I'm sorry I went off. That was not fair of me. I should be kinder to.
Yeah, you should be less of a
suboptimal
pussy.
people.
So you bring up a pussy, you bring up a pendulum, and you swing it. Now what? What does that tell you?
I'm gonna respect your right to privacy, and I'll let you guys go on in peace. You have a nice day, or night.
So you don't know what the pendulum does.
The
pendulum does. Come on, help us out, dude.
I have no idea what the pendulum does. I've just seen it at the Museum of Science. Like that's
okay,
it.
so
I have no fucking idea what it proves, doesn't prove, don't even care. But you guys were like all about it. I never even I didn't know the name. I just saw the pendulum and I was like, oh, that's cool. Because what they do is they put a pile of sand and it's like it draws lines in the sands and like over the time of the year, like it changes. But I don't know what that means.
What I
So you
do
see
know
a
is this is
pendulum
like I used to
swing.
live on the beach. Well, not on the
Oh
beach. I
my
used to live on.
god.
Oh,
Mute
I'm
him,
sorry. I thought
Spade.
you were
This
asking a
guy.
question.
Shut the fuck
Oh, I'll
up.
let you go on in peace then. Yeah, that's fine.
See a pendulum swing and you go, I don't know what that means, but Earth's a globe. Dirt.
What? That was not the conclusion that I drew. I just asked, have you
So
guys
why are you
seen the
bringing it up?
pendulum? Just like he
So
asked,
why are
have
you
you
bringing
seen
it
the
up?
curvature of the Earth? And I said, yes, I have.
Well, I have.
So why
Yeah.
bring it up if it doesn't prove a globe?
What?
Yeah, we're looking for proof of a globe. So if the pendulum's not proof of a globe, why'd you bring it up?
Wait, by globe, do you mean round Earth?
Round can be like a coin. So no, I mean like a globe, a sphere.
Oh, a sphere. Oh, okay. No, because like certainly a globe is a map of the
And
Earth.
we're the ones
But we all
pretending
know
to be
the Earth is
smart.
flat.
Sure,
So
no,
it's like
maps are
it's a
flat.
projection of the Earth onto a
Maps
sphere.
are flat.
You're right. You're right. You're actually right. He's exactly right. It
Yep.
is flat. The globe is a projection of flat Earth.
See that? It's just like a Mercator projection. Oh, look at that! I dropped the name. Holy smokes! What does that prove? Holy smokes! All right, I gotta go. You guys have fun.
See ya, fuckwit.
Yeah, but you can.
Yeah, go and
we
calm
we
your
have the
nerves down.
point that when I remember as a kid seeing a ship go off into the horizon and it like fades away and it goes down, right?
Does it go down?
Yeah, gets smaller.
Yeah. You should.
At what distance?
But it doesn't. You don't see it going down. I mean, think about it. The size they claim the Earth is. You're not going to see a boat doing that just a handful of miles away from you. So we've got hundreds and hundreds of people taking images of boats well beyond the supposed curvature of the Earth. Just the black swan alone, a handful of miles, and the radius is debunked. But I don't think we can use the text channel room. That's the only thing. Don't know how to get into it.
It's time to black swan him.
Yeah, but you
about
to
the
know
stars?
that
I mean, stars are
you don't
real.
know that boats go over the horizon. You need to know the actual geometry of the Earth, supposed Earth, and then what they say is if you're 1 foot off the surface of the water, you should only be able to see. Oh, sorry, the horizon starts. Physical horizon starts at 1.225 miles. So things should start disappearing bottom up from 1.225 miles if you're 1 foot off the ocean. Now, that's pretty close, isn't it? So it would be for the first mile, it'll be 8 inches, and then it gets exponentially bigger. So you got to square the mile after that, so you get a curved surface. Now at 10 miles, it would be 66 feet missing.
Oh, come on. Can you see the text channel I just pinged you in?
Let me see. Yes.
Where would you say the horizon is in that image? Where do you think it is?
It's not there. You can just see the things. Look at them.
Right, so but it's beyond the second oil rig. And surely.
Well, I never clay. I have no idea what the distances are for the.
No, but I'm just saying. Oh, but the distances are there. But I mean, when we can go through it, and that's what I'm saying to you. So the horizon appears to be beyond the second oil rig. You would agree, at least. So it could be 10, 15, 20. It could be fucking 50 miles. I don't know. So it's supposed to be in front of the first one, bro.
Okay.
If you take, I've got another image for you as well.
What do you guys think stars are?
Just real quick, just take hey Spade, could you take Warden off mute?
Oh, it couldn't be. What, as he came in, went out, and come back in?
Yeah, he's server muted.
Just ping me, Warden, man. If you can see that text channel still.
That's better.
Thomas, can you see the text channel I pinged you in, bro? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well, fuck, that's you. Sorry, I'm stunned at my mind. So, what would be your answer for that? Because the only answer is refraction. And do you think that that's... With looking at that image, do you seriously think that you can't actually see that, but it's just refracted up perfectly?
No, I don't think it's Look,
What would be the answer then if it's not refraction?
In terms of physics,
Oh,
I'm going to defer my judgment to experts. There's people that know more about physics than me. But I think flat Earth theory produces some weird logic.
It's not,
a theory, man.
It's axiom. It's what you go outside and observe and experience. It's not a theory.
Okay. But
An observation, everyday observation of what we experience and what we observe every day. Every single person on this earth observes a flat, stationary plane every day.
Come on, can you see the second image I just posted there?
Let me take a look. This was.
Remember the numbers I said before about the 10 miles? So it should be 66 feet a drop at 10 miles.
Yeah.
No,
And
seeing
so
that
this
second
proves the world is flat?
No, but seeing the second image, the one on the right, if you saw that, that would, like, without seeing the first one, that would appear to be evidence for the globe Earth. I would think, if I was a globe Earther, I would think that. But that obviously shows you that the horizon continually fluctuates depending on multiple different variables. So how could anyone ever have measured the Earth's curvature? Or the drop? If that's how much it fluctuates from the same spot, which is quite outrageous when I saw that.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's insane.
Yeah.
But that would be globe evidence.
Different days. Yeah.
Yeah. But
Well,
see,
I
if
mean-
globe Earthers found that before we found the black swan, the globe Earthers would be screaming that that was their black swan.
So when they say that ships are going over the horizon, saying that it's like a physical curve of Earth, it's not, because it's apparent. So it moves from day to day. It's an optical limit of our vision, right? Not something that boats can go over.
So it has to do with our eyes.
Yeah, it has to do with angular resolution, the limit of our vision, right? So when something
Atmospheric
gets far away
magnification.
from us, when something gets far away from us on a flat surface, like if you went into a gym hall and lay down on the floor, put your head to the ground, and had someone walk to the other side of the gym hall, you would start to see their feet disappear and then their knees up to their hips, right? That's how perspective works on a flat surface. So that's what's happening with the boats as well.
It's a matter of scale, but yeah, I guess.
Yeah, you can scale it up, and you can do this on like a kitchen table with a coin or something. Just drag it away from eye level with your eye down to the table, and you'll see the bottom of the coin start to disappear before the top. It's not actually going over a curve. It's just the effect of the object getting far away from us.
If you take a look at that gif I just posted,
But the Earth is really big compared to us, right? Like,
how big is it?
Yeah, it's big, but I mean
No,
that
but
doesn't.
like
That's still
really, really big.
the same principle occurs on a flat surface, right? So you do it in a gym hall or a hotel hallway, and it's a long flat surface. And on the Earth, it's a long surface. So when an object gets far enough away, it will start to disappear bottom up. That's how it works.
All right.
And we gave you, before I told you the distance to the horizon. So it's actually when you say, oh, it's really big, it's actually not that big until it starts curving. Like it's not what you think it is. So it's, like I said, at 10 miles, 66 feet a drop. That's huge. Can you see 10 miles? If you went to the ocean, you could see 10 miles, yeah.
I don't know how
Depending
many
on the day.
kilometers is that.
With a good camera.
16 Ks.
Oh shit, he's bailed. They're just bailed. Come on, take a look in the chat and take a look at that boat. That the guy spot that they done that. He says that it's roughly under 10 miles. That boat would be. So even if it was like a low amount, then there would still be a slight bit of obstruction on that. Looking at that boat, like there should be some of that boat covered, and there's nothing at all. Yeah.
I guess.
It'd be 66 feet supposedly on 10 miles. Well, if that's 7, 8. It might have been 10. He says I think it was 15 miles to the land at the other side. Because he had a map here. I had the picture with the map and the estimated distance and whatever, man. But fuck knows, that was years ago.
Okay, well that's some good evidence, I guess. Do you have any other evidence?
There's lots of it. Remember we said laser tests?
By the way, can you unmute Mr. Femboy?
I tried to and then he bailed, did he not?
He's back.
I never heard any ping, man. 1 second.
Alright.
Maybe Mr. Femboy is the one with the proof that the 10-mile horizon is at 1 mile.
Yo, Femboy, you're unmuted, mate.
Hello?
How you doing, brother?
Yeah, what's up? Hold on, I'm just pulling up my notepad real quick. Well, you guys like talking about like flat Earth?
Yeah.
Yes.
I can't type in what is happening to the server. Or is it because I'm like new or whatever? I can't type in the side chat and stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe, bro.
That's why.
I don't know, like is it so? I guess like somebody has an argument for why the Earth is flat. I guess.
Well, we're talking about horizons.
Do you have an argument why the Earth is a globe?
Well, I mean, I'm probably way less well-read of flat Earth arguments than you, but I assume you had a positive argument. I mean,
no, but do you have an argument that there's a globe?
I'm pretty sure. Hold on, I already just gave you an answer to that. So I'm asking you, do you have an argument it's flat?
Yes, water is flat. Water is flat. 71% of the known territory is said to be covered in water.
One at a time. Let's just do one at a time. I'm just like writing it down. You're saying water is flat, therefore the Earth is flat?
Yes, because if water seeks a flat level surface and 71% of the Earth's surface, as claimed, is covered in water, then it's impossible for it to be a globe because globes don't have flat surfaces. They have curved surfaces.
Hold up. I would just like an argument for why water is flat. That sounds weird.
It is. Just look at it.
Water.
Wait a second. I understand you believe it's flat, right? But I'm asking you why.
It doesn't matter why. It just is. It's observed that way. Always.
No. Wait, hold up. If you don't have a justification, why is the case that water is flat? Then
it doesn't matter. Hold on a second. It doesn't matter why it does it. Hold on a second. It doesn't matter why it does it. It's just the observed natural behavior of water. It does it every single time. It always seeks a flat, level, horizontal surface when at rest. Why doesn't really matter. We can just see again and again and again that it does that. And if it's doing that, that precludes any possibility of the Earth being a globe because 71% of its surface is said to be covered in water.
Okay, you keep establishing your own belief over and over again. You keep saying, I think the water's flat. I think water's flat. I think water's flat. That's fine. I understand you believe that. That's cool, right? I'm asking, do you have a justification for why water is flat?
It doesn't matter.
Of course it matters. You need a justification. If you make a positive argument, the Earth is flat, and you're saying the reason is because water is flat, and you don't have the reason to believe water is flat, then you don't have a justification.
If that's what it does, if it doesn't take a curved surface ever when at rest,
what you're looking for is I saw it be flat. I observed it.
Bro, I don't want to have to mute you, man. Chill out.
It's okay. I found the answer that I'm looking for. It's that it doesn't matter why water does it. It's just the natural observed behavior of it. That's it.
So your justification for your argument doesn't matter, is what you're saying.
That's not the justification for the argument.
Anybody else in this VC have a justification why?
Yeah, the justification is that that's what water does when it's at rest. It seeks a flat, level, horizontal surface. Everybody knows that. It's called hydrostatics. Go look it up. Water is never seen to be curving when at rest. It doesn't do that. It doesn't behave that way. Everybody knows that. That is the justification for the Earth not being a sphere. Can't possibly be if 71% of its surface is seeking a flat level.
Bro, I just unmuted you and you started instantly talking over Heretic again, man. You need to chill the fuck out or you're going to stay server muted, man, right? So I'm going to unmute you. Please just chill.
Okay, so the reason I was talking is because you kept talking over me. I didn't finish my point at first, right? And then I got unmuted, and then I, of course, kept talking, right? Anyway, the point is that if you say water's flat because water's flat, that's what you call circular logic. That's not a good justification for anything. So I'm just ask other people in the VC. Does anybody here have justification why water is always flat?
I've got the justification. It's because water is always observed and measured to be level at the surface. You put it in a cup, the surface is level. You put it in a bathtub, the surface is level. You put it in a swimming pool, the surface is level. You put it in a lake, the surface is level, right? So that's the justification. It's like saying the grass is green. What's the justification? Everyone observes the grass to be green. Do you understand?
Okay, so so I'm definitely not at all convinced that water is always observed to be flat.
Okay, could you give me an example? Could you give me an example of when you've seen the surface of a body of water to be curved?
So right now, you're the one who's making the argument. So I don't know why you ask me any questions.
No, because you just said that it wasn't level on the surface. So I'm asking you, okay, could you give us an example of when it's not level on the surface?
So at no point have I said it's the case that it's not level. The thing
Okay, so then it's level.
Hold up. The thing I specifically said is that I wasn't convinced of the thing you said that water is
That's okay.
always
You don't need to
be
be
flat.
convinced. That's just how everyone observes it. If you're not convinced by that, maybe see a psychiatrist or something. But
Can you give me
everyone else observes it to be that way. If you want to distrust your own observation, that's fine, but we can't really help you there. But that is what it is.
Yeah, so can you give me any sort of like paper or just any research ever saying that always observed in any measurement ever that water, no matter what, is always flat?
Go to your bathroom. Go to your bathroom and fill up your sink.
My bathroom is not all measurements. Sorry, that doesn't count.
No, fill up your sink or get a glass
My
of
sink is
water.
not all measurements.
Water and look at the surface of it. It's level, yeah.
Yeah, my sink is not all measurements. Okay, you're saying it's the case that water on all measurements is always measured to be flat.
When you fill the sink with water, the surface is level, isn't it?
My sink is not all measurements.
Well, that doesn't. What you're saying doesn't even make sense. Okay, so we all know. Anyone listening, you fill up your sink, the surface is level. Confirmed. There's a crazy guy here who, for some reason, is trying to deny that, but that doesn't matter because that's what everyone experiences.
Yeah, so at no point have I said the sink water isn't flat. What you said specifically.
Okay, so the sink water is flat.
Hold on, let me finish. What you said specifically was in all cases, no matter what, it's always measured that water is flat, and I've never heard any of that. Do you have any evidence of that?
When's it measured curved? No one measured it to be curved.
What?
Yeah, no one's ever measured a body of water's surface to be curved.
Okay, I understand you believe that. I'm asking you why. Do you have any evidence of that?
The non-existence of a measurement of a curved body of water is the evidence for it. If you don't believe that, then you are free to go and find us the measurement that shows a curved surface of water. And if not, then my statement stands.
Okay, so first of all, I'm not about to do your...
Fam, I've been trying to get him for ages. Don't believe us about you're asking us for measurements and you want us to do shit. Do it yourself, mate. Observe water yourself. Go to the fucking ocean and look at it before you even get tools to measure it. It's blindingly fucking flat.
Okay, so first of all, I don't need to do your research.
Is that not what you experience, bro? What I just said to you, is that what you see when you see the ocean? Do you see any kind of curvature over the horizon?
Can I talk? Okay, so first of all, I'm not about to...
I've been asking the same question for like 45 seconds. And I'm saying, do you see any convexity when you look at the horizon at the ocean?
Okay, this is not relevant. Okay, so can I respond to Cyclone? Okay.
Answer the question, bro.
Can I respond to Cyclone?
Femboy, I'm just going to mute you. I don't want to have to mute you, Femboy. Go and answer the question.
Okay, can I respond to what Cyclone said?
I've been asking for ages. I've been trying to get in for at least a minute or two, man. And everybody else has been talking, and I've just thought, I'll let you go for a bit, and then I'll jump in. This is what I've done. So I'm just asking you a question. When you observe the ocean, do you see any kind of convexity over the horizon? It's a simple question, man. Fuck, I forgot to unmute him.
Okay, so I'll answer any question you have, but I don't want to move off the topic. So I guess write it down, ask me afterwards.
No, it's a simple.
It's going to derail. I'm not about to move off the topic.
Bro, Fem, do you see curve when you look over the ocean surface, bro? That's what. It was a simple question. You've made it like go for like a minute rather than answering it. Yes? No? Do you see any kind of curve when you look at the ocean?
This is not relevant.
It's a question I'm asking you.
Yeah, it kind of is, because you're trying to disagree with me when I said that the surface of water is level. So for you to disagree with that, you would have to show evidence to the contrary, which obviously you can't do, which is why you're doing whatever it is.
No,
you're doing.
my point is, if you're going to answer, you're muted. Sam, you're muted just now. I'm just asking. It's just a yes or no. When you look at the ocean surface, well, it's not our evidence you're having to believe. I'm asking what you observe. Do you see any kind of convexity over the horizon when you're at the ocean?
Okay, I'll answer any question you have once we finish this.
What's a hack with that guy, man? He's fucking off his nut.
This ball's not going to get.
He
I'm not
doesn't have a
gonna-
measurement of convexity of a body of water. That much is clear. Femboy, you failed to make any sort of case for the globe. Is anybody else able to do any better?
Is there anybody else?
I just
here?
asked, Cometh sounded reasonable. Cometh,
Right,
why is
right.
Femboy refusing to acknowledge observable reality?
Well, because it's not relevant to. I mean, naive realism is a thing, right? You know what that is.
Well, here we go.
Well, no. We're just talking about the observation of the natural physics of water, aren't we? And I said, and everyone else said, we observe bodies of water from a puddle to a lake, to an ocean, to be observably level. We don't see curvature to them. That's agreed upon on the globe side. No one's debating that. But you've got these mad globe heads who are like, can't even answer. Oh, I'm not even going to admit that I see a flat ocean. Like, what is that?
Well, I mean, he was trying for you to make a positive argument, right? Where you provided that.
Yeah, because he can't stand the fact that he actually has the positive argument, the positive claim inherently by saying the water can curve, or by believing the water can curve against what we observe. So that requires evidence.
But
Cyclone, have you ever seen a drop? Have you ever seen a drop of water, a wave?
We're not talking about drops. We're not talking about waves.
Water can curve. You put water in a bottle, it curves. Water always takes the shape and the container. It goes through the force that's being applied on it.
We're gonna have
Who
to
has
mute you.
a mic with fucking
Bro,
bomb?
chill the fuck out, man. Please stop talking over us, like, and everybody just chill. For fuck's sake, it just sounds like nonsense, man.
No, water can curve is fucking nonsense.
Listen. We're talking about the surface of a body of water at rest, seeking level. We're not talking about drops.
Yes.
We're not talking about waves, which are not water at rest. So please address what we're talking about.
Okay, so you take a pool, put it long enough, it will be curved.
That's a claim. There's
What?
no evidence for that. There's no evidence for that.
What you want? What exact evidence do you want? What do you want? You want me to prove to you that water can curve?
What you just said. Get a body of water that's long enough and measure that curvature of the surface. Who did that?
What evidence do you want? What do you want?
I want a measurement of the curve of the water that you said.
Second, let me ask the question. You want evidence for water that is able to curve?
Yeah,
I want a measurement of the curvature of the body of water that you just claimed.
The curvature of the body of water. Okay, that's
who
the
measured that?
That's the
only thing that you want.
Surely that's been found so far. Like, we've had a lot of.
Here, let me send you.
You just talk over about focus
Here.
reality.
Shut up,
bro. They talk over people, yeah.
Here.
Mr. Straight, do you have to get muted as well?
They are curvatured.
Measured them.
Beautifully curved.
Who measured
exactly like a ball.
Who measured it?
Yes, I just sent you. You can measure it. You can take one
Who
drop of
measured
water.
it? That's a droplet of water, you fool.
Yes.
I'm asking. You said a body of water. You said a swimming pool long enough. Get a lake.
A drop of water is a body of water. It's a small body of water.
A body of water, you moron.
What about the
lake?
You
go
moron.
to a lake. A lake
You're
would be a
not able
body
to
of water. Has anyone
able-
measured a lake? Has anyone measured a lake to have curvature?
You're not going to be able to see the curvature on a lake. It's not big enough. You
Has
would
anyone
need to
measured
go
it?
from space.
Anywhere.
Yes, from space.
No one's
From space.
measured a curved lake.
Of course they did, from space. Look at
How
pictures
far?
of Earth from space. You can see.
How far? Bro, the
I see you're asking question of if somebody.
Mr. Straight, you're muted, man. You're thinking you're not listening to any of us, bro. Chill out. We're gonna have to like meet loads of people, and they'll start moaning. Right, Mr. Straight, you're unmuted, man.
My friend, I'm not
Chill,
able to
bro.
understand your accent.
Chill,
Sorry, can you
bro.
repeat?
Right, we're asking for a drop over distance, a measurement. That's what we're asking you for.
Wait.
The-
You said, Mr.
the
Straight.
drop
Let me
of
just
water.
ask. Let me just ask you
Yes.
quickly.
What?
So you said a lake doesn't have curvature. Is that right?
No, I did not say it. I said it's not
Okay, so
noticeable by the eye.
So a lake does have curvature.
I said it's not noticeable by the eye. That's what I said.
Okay, but it does have curvature. You said.
It has depends exactly on the lake, right? There
Okay,
is,
let's say a
obviously
10-mile lake.
You want
Let's
the
say 10
entire
miles.
answer, or do you want part of the answer?
No. I'm asking you questions, and you can respond quickly with succinct answers.
I would respond quickly. 10 seconds is not a long time. Truly.
10 miles.
You're interrupting right now, Mr. Straight. Just listen to his question.
Continue with the questions.
Okay, 10, a lake that's 10 miles long. Does that have curvature?
It should have, yeah. It should have.
Okay, who's measured
If 10
that?
miles, it should have. You should. If it's 10 miles, you can put a boat, right? And you can make the boat drive from one side to the other, and you would be able to see how. If it's 10 miles, you would be able to see how. I don't know exactly the measurement of miles. I walk in kilometers, but let's say you would be able to see. Let's say after 5 kilometers, you would be able to see that you cannot see the entire ship, but you're only able to see the upper part of the ship, proving curvature.
Okay, so who's taken
and it was
of
done by the ancient Greeks 2,000 years ago. That's how we essentially realized the Earth was round. Yes, it was. It was done by the ancient Greeks 2,000 years ago.
Stop monologuing. The ancient Greeks went to space. What are you talking about, dude?
I didn't say they went to space. I said they were able to observe the curvature of Earth. Not a lake, an ocean. They used an ocean. They didn't use a lake. It all depends exactly who. Yeah, they would use an ocean. You can also use a lake. It doesn't matter.
So who measured a lake to have curvature?
Who measured a lake to have curvature? You cannot. You don't have. By measurement, what do you mean? Do you want the measurement?
Point to point drop over distance due to curvature. Who measured that?
You can see that You can see that if the surface level is the same,
so
and
no
the
one
Earth is round, then it obviously has curvature.
So no one measured it.
Is this what I said?
Yeah, because I asked who measured it, and you didn't say a name.
You're not able to take how is it called? Not a measurement. How is it called?
You said the surface level is the same. That sounds level. Flat.
The surface level is the distance between the core of Earth and the surface. That's obviously going to be the same. You're not able to take a ruler. You're not able to take a ruler.
Prove it.
And measure it from 4 kilometers. You don't have a ruler.
That's fine. You can't take a
4
ruler.
kilometers.
So no one measured curvature of a lake.
You can use the location of the sun, for example, in multiple points on Earth, right?
No, I'm talking about the lake.
Well, I guess that maybe if you are extremely stupid and your brain is not able to understand trigonometry, then obviously you're not going to accept any measurement of this. I see that you're not willing to get a full answer.
Yeah, no, I am, because you've just rambled on without giving a single name or measurement.
Yeah, I will give you a measurement. If you take the sun, right? You can use the sun in 2 points. On two different points on Earth, use the trigonometry. Well, I guess I see you're not willing to actually listen. Use the geometry, right? And you can measure by using the location of the sun in 2 different locations on Earth. You are able to measure exactly the curvature of Earth.
No. The sun doesn't tell you anything about curvature. The sun is just observed over a flat surface.
Yes, it does. Can I screen share? I can screen share. Let me show you. Look at how you can beautifully do it.
Yeah, we already know this.
Look at my screen share. I truly put a lot of doubt that you know trigonometry, but look at my screen share for a second. Right? Let's say that's the Earth. Right? Let's say that's the sun. Okay? We're not
assuming that the Earth is a ball.
So
the sun's
The
through
sun's
here,
smaller than Earth in
I
your
think that
picture.
you don't want to know how we did the calculations, but through here,
The sun is
the sun is
smaller
going to be
than
here.
Earth
Through
in your.
here, you're going to be here.
You're
Right,
showing,
but you're
You can
assuming
take this angle
you're
and
already
calculate.
you're already assuming a ball Earth.
and he's already showing the rays
Yes,
diverging. You
I
would have
told you how we
parallel.
are able to calculate it. That's what you're asking.
No,
That's how we are able to calculate it.
no. I'm not asking how you calculate. I'm asking how you physically measure that curve that you've just assumed.
It's impossible to calculate
Right,
anything.
exactly.
It's impossible
Thank you.
It's impossible. You're asking me to take a ruler that is 4 kilometers long.
Yeah. Okay.
This,
So okay,
this,
we
this
agree.
question
We
is
agree then.
absurd.
No
I
one has
don't need to
measured
do it
curve
to
length.
prove it. I don't need to do it to
Agree.
prove it.
Look
You
here
cannot.
first. You can't
You
prove it.
cannot.
Can't
You
prove
cannot
it, buddy.
limit.
It's
You cannot
impossible.
limit. You cannot
Okay.
limit
Okay.
evidence.
So you agree. You agree. No one's measured curvature of the lake. Okay. Fine.
Not physically.
No, how come the
Not
Navy?
physically, but
No,
mathematically, yes, you can.
no,
You can use
how
geometry
come?
to measure it
So
easily.
No,
so it's just math. It's just math.
why,
It's not
Calm
measurement.
down.
Yes,
Calm down.
math is
bro?
far more accurate than measurements. Math
Sake,
is
you
as
gotta get
accurate
into
as
it.
something can
Come on,
be.
bud.
Math
Wow.
is as accurate as 1 + 1 being
Dude,
equal to 2.
you've lost the plot, man.
You can do the math on Superman's top speed.
On Superman's top speed, yes, you can. Correct.
Yeah, that doesn't mean it's real. That doesn't mean Superman is real. The same way
Yes,
your
but
math on a ball doesn't mean the ball is real.
well,
You
are you able
expect
to
on general
explain? Are you able
relativity.
to explain on a flat Earth how are we not able to see the sun from every location on Earth?
Because it's too far away.
If your model of
Irrelevant.
No,
it is extremely relevant.
no,
If your model
no,
of
nobody
flat Earth is
Stop.
correct,
Monologue. Calm
model.
down.
Nobody's using a model here. We're not claiming a model, so you can't strawman us. Whatever you think flat Earth is, like we don't think we live on a disc for starters. If you've heard the Flat Earth Society and the nonsense they push, then we're not anything to do with them. We don't think we live on a space pancake. So we don't accept that there's a place called space, a vacuum enveloping us, and we don't think we're accelerating upwards. So if that's what you thought about
how's
us,
it
that's
related
not
to what
okay.
I said? I wasn't talking in a vacuum, so I wasn't even referring to something even remotely similar to what you're referring to right now.
That's okay.
Bro,
What he just said is
the-
it cannot be physically measured. It can only be mathematically assumed.
No, you
which
can
is correct.
you can use lasers to measure it also.
Okay,
but you
who
not
used a
use your
laser?
eyes.
Okay, now we're
Right.
getting somewhere. Who
I
used a
was
laser to measure the curvature of a lake?
or
I never
what I was
done
trying
the
to get in
experiment. I
before.
don't know who
Wait,
done it,
I
but
need to get his
No,
answer. I need to get his answer.
honest,
I
was
never
trying to get
done
this
the
in
experiment.
before.
I don't know anybody who done this experiment, but I can think of this experiment. You put two ships on two different locations, and
Right,
you
let me
draw
in
a
here, man.
line using GPS between them, and this
Give us
line.
a laser test. Okay, you
Boys,
went to
let me
GPS.
in.
Give us the laser measurement.
Oh my god!
Give us the laser
You know
measurement.
the
Oh my
experiment?
god.
Boys, can you
I'm
actually
giving you a hypothetical experience, and I didn't say it was done, but you can
Okay,
take
nobody
two
did it.
ships.
Okay, that's another fail. All right, go ahead, Spake.
So you could actually
Are
hear me, boys.
are you like taking two words and assuming the Earth is flat only of two
You gotta
words?
mute him. You gotta mute him,
Listen,
Spake.
man.
Stop.
Well, listen, man. All I was trying to say for the past 3 minutes, the Navy can paint targets. Navy warships can paint targets over 100 miles away. How is that possible on this fucking globe Earth?
Because if a rocket has a lot of fuel, then it can go pew.
I'm talking about the
That's
laser.
as simple as it goes.
They paint the target. The lasers fucking saw on the target, and they paint it on the ship or whatever mass on the land or whatever the fuck they're doing. I don't know what their target is, but they can paint them over 100 miles, and then you've got the railgun. The railgun goes about 100 miles as well, and there's no curvature. It's fucking in a straight line.
About the first one, it depends on which kind of rocket you're referring to, because there is rockets who use mainly soldiers. You want to answer?
I never mentioned rockets.
It depends. You mentioned rockets. You were mentioning rockets. How the Navy is able to use rockets.
No, they paint target, but I'm talking about the laser. Fuck's sake.
Yes, I understand it, and I'm explaining to you.
So I'm not talking about rockets.
The rocket and the laser, they go together now.
Right,
The
I know,
laser,
but that
there
wasn't
is
what I was
two
talking
ways
about.
it is being used.
No, you're
My
basically
friend, as
forgetting about
somebody
what
an Israeli, I know how the military. I have
fucking hell, man. Stop
friends
talking,
who have been in
bro.
the military. I can explain to you how it works.
I take it I have to fucking control mute you. It's a fucking joke, man. Jesus Christ.
You ask a question, you don't want the answer. How
No,
much
I
time
said
do you need?
You haven't answered. You're panic mode.
Again, my statement was the Navy can paint targets with their fucking lasers. Who cares what they do after it? I'm talking about they paint the target.
To you how
That
they
means
do
they
it.
see it. They
I'm
know
explaining to you how
it's
they
on
do
the
it.
target.
I'm explaining to you how they do it. As somebody who is going to be and has a lot of relatives who have been in the army.
Who cares how they do it, or the fact that you've got relatives in the army? What the fuck are you talking about? Because you've got an uncle that's a
They do
sergeant.
it. Man, what you're showing is just what every flat earther shows, just complete ignorance about science and assuming what he
What?
Science.
more mind
Science.
understand is
You
correct.
think you use science to figure out what shape something is? Speaking of ignorance about science, there's some right there.
It's not even a scientific question, man. It's a fucking geometry question.
Yes, geometry. Yes, it is.
Yes, geometry. Yes, not science.
So,
Yes.
so
Geometry is
geometry.
math. Yes, it's
No.
not physics. It's math, and
No.
I don't know if math is science, right? I would something tells
Yeah,
me.
but you don't have any measurements.
Math is close accurate science
It
to
would
my
be
memory.
it would be a scientific claim because you're having to sort of, you know, empirically verify whether or not a thing is a circle or if it's a square. If it was just, you know, a sort of thing that we came to like from fucking sitting in our armchairs, then yeah, it wouldn't be science. But the fact that we have to go and look at the sun,
That's how
we
you
have to
came
go,
to it.
we have to
That is
go
how
and
you
look
came
at,
to it.
or the fact
That is how you
the
came
fact
to it.
or the fact that we have to go and look at a swan to see that it's white, that's an empirical claim, meaning that it's a scientific claim.
No. What we're talking about, bro, we're talking about establishing cause and effect relationships, the scientific method. That's what we're talking about.
Okay, so that's not science.
So-
Establishing cause and effect is not science. That's more of a metaphysical claim.
No, that's science. It's literally the scientific method. You don't know what you're talking about.
My God.
I'm sorry, you don't know what you're talking about. Sorry. Okay, I'm really sorry, but I'm aware that some people don't know what they're talking about now. So basically, when it comes to
for the people trying to discuss causal relationships, science does not give you causal relationships.
Exactly.
It gives you correlative relationships that are likely causal. But you cannot like it is a metaphysical claim to say like this thing necessarily causes this thing. The scientific method says these things have very high correlations. We have explanations for how they would be causal, and the evidence lines up with that explanation of it being causal.
So look, David Hume.
Okay, exactly. So it has nothing to do with determining what shape something is. It's not a cause and effect inquiry. It's not a cause and effect inquiry what shape something is. So it's a category error. You're talking about geometry. Geometry is based on measurement. You're
When it comes to whether or not, you know, something is causally affected, David Hume, who was a scientific sort of mind during the scientific revolution of the 1800s, he basically created this problem of induction. Basically, when we see the correlation between a state of affairs and a future state of affairs, we are unable to substantiate that there is actually a cause and effect going off there purely based on our observation.
The scientific method is still designed for cause-effect inquiry. So you're in a category error.
We're having to use
Category error.
findings that are in alignment with our experience,
He's going to try to steamroll.
do not actually serve as a proof in and of themselves.
Spake, you have to mute this guy because he's not going to stop.
Dude, you interrupted me.
You're interrupting the entire room. You're in a category error. Scientific method is not for determining what shape something is. It's for cause and effect inquiry. You're in a category error. We could have stopped you like 2 minutes
If you'd
ago.
read David Hume, you wouldn't be saying this retarded shit right now.
Okay, all right. Well, speaking of retarded shit, okay, you're the expert of the scientific method.
You're interrupting me again. You're interrupting me again. You're interrupting me again. You're interrupting me again. So look, David Hume outlined. Sorry, the conversation is going to happen whether you like it or not. So when it comes to David Hume,
why this guy is not muted because he's trying to rumpus the room, not wanting anybody else.
I'm just trying to finish one point, mate, and it seems like you have some impulse control issues.
Alright, hold the fucking phone, right? Tippy top. You give us your point that you're trying to make, and everybody will understand.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Now, the point I was trying to make is when we make inductions, right? When we say, look, swans are white, okay? That means all swans are white. Now, this is a problem because we're having to rely on our experiences, okay? And what we notice is we're not infinite and we're not everywhere. So the things that we experience here may be different from the things we experience, say, if we were in Australia, where we would see that, swans can also be black. So when we originally said, look, all swans are white, based on our limited experience, we were unable to account for the fact that
And how
some
is it
swans are
related
even
to
black.
location?
So the way that this is related is because the way we determine that swans are black or white is we experience the swan, okay, and we say, look, sorry, we experience the swan, right, and we
How's it related?
cannot say whether or not this is a swan without using the category of swan. There is no way of
How's it
suddenly,
related?
how's it relate? I'm trying to explain if you wouldn't interrupt.
You're not getting anywhere with this. You started out with a category error. You're so far off from where you started. It has absolutely nothing to do with what anybody was talking about, including yourself when you started. I'm not sure why
You've
Spake has
interrupted
to
me, yeah, again.
You're interrupting everybody. We were looking for measurements of a curved ocean. Mr. Straight almost got there, but then he started calling it science, and then you guys all started going, yeah, geometry, shapes, that's science. You guys don't know what science is. You don't know what geometry is. And all we need is a measurement of a curved ocean. Thank you.
So basically, the way this is connected is because we acknowledge that we can only have experiences from our human perception, and we notice that cause and effect is something we see through our human perception. We cannot be making scientific claims such as cause and effect exists, the universe is uniform and constant. We cannot be making these claims because we cannot demonstrate these claims.
This is mind waffle. This is mindless waffle.
And that would be antithetical.
Nothing
Sorry,
you just
I'm
said
gonna
was
finish
related
my
to the
sentence.
scientific
I'm
method.
gonna
No,
finish.
you ramble
I'm
in for
gonna
10
finish my
minutes.
sentence.
Spake, mute this fucking guy, please.
Like 5 minutes.
Fucking mute this
If you guys
guy.
had
Mute this
impulse
guy.
control, you would be
Absolute
able to
moron.
listen, okay? So the reason
Listen, nothing you just said was
we can't have
related
cause
to
and effect is
science.
because we're unable to demonstrate it. And the basis of science is demonstration. If we're unable to demonstrate cause and
I'm
effect,
gonna mute him on my side, guys.
then we are unable to use it in a scientific experiment.
How can you prove the curvature of ocean? Here, look at the picture that I just sent.
Nothing you've said is related to science at all. Seeing a swan is not science, right? Saying I can't trust my senses is not science.
My friend,
Don't
somebody
interrupt
has
me.
zero
Don't
practice in
interrupt me.
science.
I'm
Don't be stupid.
speaking. I'm speaking. Nothing
Science
this
is
guy
based
spoke
on
about was
empirical.
science. Scientific method is very clearly defined. I posted numerous citations in the chat, which tells you that they are testing a hypothesis via an independent variable and watching the effect on the dependent variable. That's exactly what the scientific method is. Rambling about nonsense isn't getting you anywhere. The actual point was, Mr. Whatever his name was, says, oh, we could actually measure curvature with a laser. Okay, who did that?
I've given it as an hypothetical, but here is a way that you can simply,
so no one's
very
done
simply, with shut up. It's a way that you can
No, I asked
simply
who
measure
did it. I don't want a hypothetical. I asked who did it.
Can you shut up and listen to the
You're going to
argument?
get muted in a second, bro, if you don't shut the fuck up.
This is the way you can look and observe the curvature of the ocean. Now, what you have in here is a ship that has went away in two different locations, right? He's taking the picture on the ocean, and he's taking a picture of another ship on the ocean. Now you can see that those two different pictures are of different locations of the ship in the ocean, and you can see that in the first one you can see the entirety of the body, and you cannot see the little bit of the below.
Looking for a
And in the
measurement.
second, I see you don't control yourself, but I would
Yeah, I'm
ask you
asking
to
for a
control yourself
measurement,
now.
not a
And in the
hypothetical
second one, you're able to see that a big part of the ship, right, is completely covered by the ocean. Now this is showing that the ocean is
perspective.
curved.
Perspective.
Shut
No,
up.
that doesn't show curve.
No, perspective doesn't make objects disappear. You cannot say something that's stupid.
Yeah, it does.
The ocean.
What's the
You
distance
guys
to
are
the
not
horizon?
able to listen to an argument.
What's the
The
distance to the
ocean.
horizon?
The only way to explain it
What's
is
the
that the
distance to
ocean
the
is
horizon?
physically
See, this is a
blocking
tactic
the view of the below part of the ship.
so that nobody can challenge them on the idiocy that they're spewing.
Mr.
So what's
Mr. Straight,
Can I just bring it back to causation just for 1 second? I
No,
just
no,
want to
no.
say something. I provided sources in the side chat.
Straight. What was the
I provided sources in the side chat for the causation stuff. You can see that Scottish philosophers throughout history who are scientific and empirical
We're in
do
the
not
middle of a
actually find
conversation.
any evidence for causation. Thank you.
We're in the middle of a conversation. So, Mr. Straight, what was the observer height and what was the ship's distance?
The ship distance, he didn't measure the ship meters, but he
Okay, so
measured
it's not a measurement then. What is that then? So I'm asking
But
for a
no, it's
measurement.
not only because you don't have every single
You
part
need
of
the
the
distance.
equation.
Distance.
No, you don't. You do need
No, you don't.
you would need the distance to
What are you
know.
measuring if you don't
You
even
would
know the
need
distance between the two ships?
against no self control. You would need the distance to understand.
Impulse control's
You
an
would
issue.
need to a distance to if you would to
Okay,
calculate
and
the
you don't have the
curvature.
distance.
You don't have self control, my friend. To calculate the curvature of
You don't have an
Earth,
argument.
you would need to know the distance and exactly the size of the ship, and for this you would be able to calculate the curvature of Earth. But
Okay,
the
but you
argument
just
is
said you
not
don't have that.
no self control again. But the argument is not that this experiment proves the curvature and gives me the exact number, but that it only proves the curvature. To
No, it
calculate
doesn't
the exact
prove the
number,
curvature.
I gave you
You need to know the
I gave you the
distance. And you
example
just said you
again.
don't
No
know the
self control.
distances. You're
It's amazing
talking
how
for like
zero
10
self control
minutes.
you can
You're
have.
rambling.
Self-control doesn't mean you win an argument.
Yeah, it doesn't mean I made an argument, but it means the
You
other
haven't
side is
said
extremely
anything.
pathetic.
You're rambling excuses. You
I
said
am
this is a
explaining to
measurement
you
of this
how it
ship to
proves
this
the
ship, and
curvature
I
of
said,
Earth, which is
what is
exactly
the
what you asked
distance
for.
between the two ships? And you
I
said,
don't
I
need to
don't
know.
know.
I don't need to know the distance to know the
Okay, so
ocean
then
is
you don't know
curved.
what you're looking at. You don't know what you're looking at
I know what I'm looking at. I'm looking at two ships.
because you don't know the distance.
No, only because I don't know the distance doesn't mean I can
Okay.
I can see an
You don't
ocean and I
you
can
don't
see a
know. You
ship.
don't know how far you're measuring. You don't know how much curvature they're supposed to be.
I don't know
You don't know.
exactly how far I'm measuring. Correct.
Yeah,
And
yeah. So that's not a measurement. Who measured it? That's why I asked.
who measured it was a guy taking a photo. He didn't measure it
Who?
exactly.
Who? Oh, so no one. So
What
no
he
one has
measured,
measured it,
what he
like you
measured
said.
was the following. What he measured,
Okay.
what he said is
Agree. No one's measured
one
it.
from the lower deck of the ship, left image. The other
So that's
one
not a
from
measurement, like
our
you just
highest
said.
observation platform, above 60 meters higher picture on the right. So
Okay, so no one's
he
measured it.
observed that the lower part that is being blocked by the ocean is something like 60
So no one's
meters on
measured
the
it.
right.
So no one's measured it.
No one measured the distance between them, yes, but you don't
Okay,
need to
so
measure
no
the
one's measured the curvature. What is flat Earth?
But your entire tactic is just over talking me.
That's okay.
Only because they didn't measure the distance doesn't mean that
Yeah,
the
no
picture doesn't
one's
prove the
measured the
curvature of.
curvature then.
No,
You don't
it still proves the curvature. No, it doesn't. It doesn't prove. It doesn't tell me exactly
It
how
doesn't
much
prove the
curvature
curvature.
you have over.
Yeah, he's just going to
let's say
talk
for-
through you so that nobody can challenge his idiocy. That's a
I
tactic.
just heard.
He has no measurement of a curved ocean to show us, so you're going to talk through the room so that nobody can point that out. Everybody sees what you're doing. Shut up.
I hope you're all flat earthers because you guys are fucking retarded.
Okay, not that we're fucking retarded. Does he have a measurement of a curved? Mr. Straight just waffled for like 10 minutes. He didn't come up with a measurement of a curved ocean. The guy just said flat earthers are
Yeah,
fucking
and you spent
retarded. You
10
have
minutes
one.
entertaining it, bro. What the fuck?
Yeah, I know. I told Spake to meet him. I don't know. Do you have a measurement of a curved ocean?
Sorry, man. I was on the other side of the room. You need something to meet with.
Yeah, he's gone. We're just looking for a measurement of curved ocean, boys.
Who has the echo?
I do.
Heretic.
Oh, okay.
Do you have a measurement of a curved ocean?
Me?
Yeah.
No.
Okay, not you. Okay, how about Tippy Top? Do you have one?
Is that relevant to whether there is a measurement?
Yeah, sure is.
Yeah, it's pretty relevant.
Because if you've not
Is it
got
relevant?
What do you mean
yeah,
a
man,
measurement
So
of
why?
the
Wait,
what do you mean a measurement of the
wait.
bro,
Are you telling me? Are you telling me with your infinite wisdom that if I don't have it, it doesn't
What the
exist?
fuck, man? No,
Who has it? Who has it?
Hold on.
That's exactly what they're
Hold
saying.
on. Wait.
listen, bro.
Like 5
Listen,
people
man, will you
started
shut the
talking.
fuck up or I'm going to mute you? If I have to, I don't want to have to, man. I'm saying if you're in here and you've not got those measurements, you've not got all this stuff you're demanding from us, then you've just got a belief system. That's what you're arguing. We're arguing against your belief.
Well, the Earth is round or the Earth is flat.
That
I'm
as
so
well
confused.
as the measurements. These measurements you think are there, the proof that you think is there that says that the Earth is what it is, when we've got vast amounts of evidence that say to the contrary. Reality says to the contrary. You experience a flat stationary Earth, bro. Fuck's sake, there's no motion, there's no fucking convexity over fucking body of water.
So can I ask a question to that effect?
That's hilarious, man.
You reply. Reply what I said, please.
These guys
You
are
actually
having a
reply.
meltdown, Spake. They're just having a meltdown right now.
Right, bro, can you actually give me a reply? Is that not what you experience?
Are you talking to me?
Yes, bro. Do you
No, it's not what I
experience
experience. I look up in the
What?
sky, I see the stars change, like the sun changes
Right.
position. I don't
Look
think the
up in the
stars
sky.
are moving.
Look up in the sky. You're
You
already
guys,
off.
you
You're already
guys
way
say
off
that the Earth is
base.
flat. Then
Hold
how
on.
could the stars be moving? How could the Earth be moving? How could the moon be moving? These things seem to be moving.
Listen,
Yeah,
man,
they
you're
seem to be
running.
moving. Exactly. They do, not you.
Fuck's sake. Is it Mr. Straight?
No.
He's gone.
It's whoever's echoing. He keeps on like getting excited.
Yeah,
No.
so the tippy top
I asked
guy,
you.
he's
That's a wait. Obvious as fuck question, man. It's just a yes or no. Do you
I think it's
experience
no then.
motion? Listen, well, there you go. So where do you experience motion? You see things in the sky moving in concentric circles like they always have done, apart from the planets. And there's retrograde supposedly on them. But everything else comes the way it was the year before that, and all the years ahead. So it's rotating. So we're obviously not barreling in multiple vectors at millions of fucking miles per hour through a vacuum without any kind
But
of
I guess
containment pressure.
So because you don't experience motion, that is evident that there is no motion.
hang on. Let him finish. Please let him finish. Oh my god.
You literally started talking before I finished the sentence. So obviously you weren't listening to a fucking thing I was saying, man. Fuck's sake.
Let him
On you
finish,
go.
please.
On you go. I'll jump back in, just start talking again, fuck's sake. We experience a motionless Earth, bro. The stars have been the same since you were born. And every year the same stars at the same point. Fractionally different because it moves through ages over the thousands of years. We're into the age of Aquarius now, from Pisces. So everybody's always known that the Earth is stationary. That's where the swastika comes from. It's the 4 seasons, the plough and the 4 seasons. All ancient civilizations used the swastika. And then they inverted it in the World War just to make it fucking evil. Now it's an evil symbol when really it's a symbol of pure peace and unity, and everybody knew the Earth was fucking stationary, man.
I guess the issue I have is that, whether the Earth is flat or it's round, both models seem to account for my experience of it being stationary, right? Like, the round earthers say that I'm, like, stood on one portion of it. The other parts sort of fall away from me and curve back in on themselves. And so when a boat goes off in the distance, it makes sense to me. The fact that the sun moves, it makes sense to me. And under your model, it makes sense to me. I guess I have no way of deciding which way to go. But I would say at least the globe Earth model actually accounts for modern technologies. It accounts for all of these breakthroughs that we've got.
Give an example.
It talks about satellites.
I think you're conceding too much, man. You're conceding way too much.
Well, there's no curved ocean, so he has no choice.
There isn't a single flat Earth model that explains everything we observe.
I understand that these guys have spent a lot of time researching this, so I'm not going to go toe to toe on all their research. I'm just going to argue, given their research, is it still true?
No, I'm saying
requires
you're
a globe
too much by
Earth.
saying their model explains the flat Earth model does not explain the
What
things
model?
we observe.
What model?
There is none. That's what I'm saying. There is no
Show us
flat
the
Earth
model.
that explains these
Show us
things.
the model you straw man
Did
us
you
with.
did you not hear a word I said? I literally said that I feel that the globe Earth model can account for more things, meaning that the flat
Like
Earth
what?
model may not be able to account for everything.
Like what?
I gave the example of satellite telephones, of mobile phone data, of images of Earth.
Okay, so
How about the way
satellites, globe
stars
satellites. The
rotate?
first thing that you'll need for a globe satellite is a globe radius to calculate the orbital mechanics involved in getting something to orbit a
I
globe.
don't
So
know
who
what
first
the
measured that radius?
I don't
So who
know
first
where
measured
you're-
that radius?
Sorry, I don't know.
So if you're going to have technology based on a globe radius, the first thing you need is the globe radius.
You asked me a question. I'm going to answer it. So
okay, good
I
answer.
don't know the difference. Yeah. I don't know the difference where your neck ends and your head begins.
That's not
Doesn't
an
mean that
answer.
there-
Empty Watt, do you know who measured the globe
doesn't mean that
radius?
there isn't a
That's not an
point at
answer,
which your
Tippy
neck
Top.
ends
You're
and your
just
head
being a
begins.
sophist.
Just
That's not
because
an answer.
just because you've researched all this stuff and you've found the particular
Okay, that's
people
not
who
an
have made
answer,
these
but
claims.
thank you
I
for
don't know
your
those
non-answer. It's okay, but we need
I don't
somebody
know
who does
these
have the
people.
answer. I know you don't know, so we're going to ask
Yeah.
somebody who might know. Empty Watt, do you
Alright.
know?
Who discovered
No,
the
I don't
double
know who
helix?
measured the
Who
globe
discovered the
radius.
DNA double
Okay.
helix, which is concentric
Yeah,
circle,
that's
which means
got
that it's
nothing to
globe?
do with what we're talking about.
That's exactly what I'm saying, right? What your
Yeah,
question's got
I
nothing to do
know.
with what we're talking about.
What I'm talking about has nothing to do with what we're talking about, which is the globe
Yeah, what
Earth.
you're talking
I'm
about
talking
does
about the
have nothing
globe
to do
Earth,
with
and that has
what you're
nothing to
talking
do
about.
with the subject.
Bro,
I hear someone
a
say
trivial
that there's
point,
no
a
flat
piece
Earth
of
model.
trivia. Google trivial, right? Google what
It's not
trivial means.
trivial. If you're
A piece
claiming
of
orbital
trivia,
mechanics utilizing a globe, the number one thing that you need first is the globe radius. That's not trivial. That's
I
essential
would
to the
respond,
claim.
but I'll get
No,
interrupted.
but we don't need
Pop
you
off,
to
bro.
because you just
Yeah, just pop off,
waffle.
bro.
They would have had to have the globe radius before Sputnik went up.
He says it's trivial. That's retarded.
It's fucking
You brought up
integral.
was trivial.
Yeah, Tippy, I
Integral.
think you're
The
making
other
this way
rocket
bigger
scientist
than
that
it
was
actually
in
is,
here.
man. Like this
Yeah, the
is
rocket scientist that was in there earlier left when we asked him that question.
Exactly, because it's a trivial point. Who
It's
discovered it is
not
irrelevant to the actual
trivial.
discovery.
It's
Yes, it is.
necessary for globe satellites. The first thing you
It's
need
like
for the orbital mechanics
it's
of a
like asking,
globe is the
is
radius of the
evolution
globe.
true? Who
You're
discovered
going to need the
evolution? And then someone
density as
says
well
Charles
to weigh
Darwin, and
it,
you
to
go,
get the
no,
mass, to
evolution was a
figure out
theory
how
before
high
Charles
you need to
Darwin, you
put
fucking
something
idiot.
to get it to orbit, right? So you need the radius. It's not trivial. It's essential to what you claim they're doing, you moron. So
But
does anybody know how they got
I
that?
never claimed to know the radius. There's a
Then let's
difference
talk
between
to
the
somebody
claim.
who claims to know it, because that's the
Yeah,
essential
I
piece of
guess we were
knowledge that's
having
required for the technology that you say
different
is based on
expectations
the
of what we were
globe.
talking
So if
about.
you don't have it tippy top, that's fine. We won't grill you for it, but maybe MP Wah or one of these other guys does have it, and we can ask them.
wait, whether I know what the globe's radius is or who discovered it.
No. Who measured it? How?
Start with what?
How's it relevant?
Oh no, I don't know. I have no idea how the globe's radius is. I have no idea.
Listen, man, we'll start with
It's irrelevant to the claim at hand. You're just fucking filibustering.
What the fuck, man? You dudes are
I want to
fucking.
talk to the Scottish guy. The Scottish guy actually seems put together and able to have a conversation. Can I talk to you, sir? You were talking about swastikas earlier, and that was quite interesting.
Well, man, even
Moron.
For the globe radius.
Complete moron. That's
You're
all.
not looking for a debate, man. I don't.
Bro, if we can get back to concrete proof for this globe. So if you've not got the radius, you don't know who done it. Why do we not move on to space?
Well, I guess the argument I would put forth for the globe Earth is how do you sort of explain gas staying inside the Earth? Because
exactly
under this, I don't understand how you account for something like gravity and how things like helium and hydrogen don't escape the Earth's atmosphere under the flat Earth model.
But listen, man, I've been trying to say this every time you say model. We've not got a model. Whatever you think flat Earth is in your head, that's not what we are. All we are saying, man, is the Earth's not moving and there's no kind of curvature, no convexity, especially over bodies of water, when 71% of the surface is meant to be covered in it. So that's what has been looked for with laser tests. We've got stacks of information if you actually look at it. Or will you just keep arguing black as white?
No, because the kind of argument you're making is that because from your perspective, you don't move, you could simply say that you could extrapolate that and say the world moves around you. Your experience is stationary. It's just the world itself that changes
No,
based
you
on
can't.
your whims.
No,
Why can't you?
do that.
If we're moving in multiple
Yeah, they don't understand relative motion. You went a little bit too high on that.
When you walk forward, okay, when you guys are walking forward, your perspective stays the same. It's the world that moves towards you. Okay.
Yeah,
So
dude,
can you guys prove to me that you guys are moving and not just stationary? Like from my experience, you're just stationary. Like, how can you prove that you're moving?
Bro, why not go back to what you said before about the pressure on Earth? So we know we've got pressure on Earth. How can we be enveloped by a near perfect vacuum called space? We've got barometric
Not a near
pressure.
perfect vacuum. It's not a
It's
perfect vacuum.
I never said it was. You heard exactly what I said.
Yeah,
It's a near,
but I feel like
near,
by
bro,
acknowledging
near.
that. Okay,
I
finish.
said near, bro. I said near, and you turned around and said, "Oh, it's not a perfect vacuum." I said
If you
near
let me
perfect.
finish my sentence, I was gonna
I
say,
was the
yeah,
one
you
that.
acknowledge it's
Oh
not
my
a
god.
perfect vacuum because when we look at how air
Forget
behaves,
what you're
right,
going to
and
say
when
to
it
me. I'm
moves
not
from
what I
high
hear
to
what
low
you're going to say.
pressure gradient.
I'm not listening
Okay.
to you. the end of the day, bro, vacuums cannot support pressurized fucking systems, and you cannot have a pressurized system without
Well, it's a
containment.
gradient. It's a gradient. It's not like
a
a
gradient.
Perfect
A
shell.
gradient, right? But you've got a near
It's not
perfect
a shell.
vacuum.
It's
Well,
more like
I'm not saying it is.
a fuzzy
It
sweater
doesn't
that sort
matter.
of slowly
There
becomes
wouldn't
air.
be a fucking listen. There wouldn't be a gradient if it was enveloped by a vacuum. The pressure would have been equalized. The entropy
and
must.
it has been
No,
equalized to a gradient.
man. In an open system, entropy must increase, and globe's a fucking open system, eh?
It
So
does.
there isn't.
Helium and hydrogen escape when they gain enough thermodynamic energy.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
To
our
escape
problem.
gravity.
That's a good
Yeah.
story. That's a good story. But is there any proof of that?
Yeah,
And gravity's weaker the higher you go. So what do you
the
mean?
amount of helium we have
Well,
on
we've got
Earth
a
is
gradient.
decreasing because it's so light. It's able to escape the Earth's gravitational pull so
That's a
easily,
story.
because it's a noble gas, it's very unreactive. Meaning that things like hydrogen that are even lighter are usually able to bind to oxygen or bind to itself or other things. But
You
helium is a
mentioned
noble
gravity.
gas, so it's
You mentioned
unreactive, so
gravity.
it just floats out.
Bro, you mentioned gravity. So what kind of gravity do you believe in?
What kind of gravity?
Yeah, but
Is there like red gravity or blue gravity? Like, which one are you asking about?
Gravity
do
A,
you
gravity
believe
B.
listen, man. Do you believe in Newtonian gravity? Mass attracts mass, not a single scientific experiment backing it. Or do you believe in Einsteinian gravity, where space
Walking
and
the
time?
fabric of space-time,
Listen,
yeah.
man. Two concepts are married with maths and equations. That's Einstein's gravity. So there's no scientific experiment for that either. So you claiming gravity does stuff and allows gases to escape and holds the rest of it. That's just a claim, and it's not backed scientifically.
I mean, we have models for gravity. I mean, whether you talk about the Einsteinian conception of gravity changing like space time or something versus, I mean, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, like, what is it? G m1 m2 divided by r squared is the attractive force for like.
Where do I get some space time to experiment with? There's no science involved in mass attracts mass or Einstein's. So if you can cite an experiment for either of them, that would be what we've been searching.
I don't know what you mean. There is no experiment to demonstrate the like attractive force of gravity. I mean, we can just put two.
Scientific experiment where they establish a cause and effect relationship through a natural
We don't.
observation.
There is no cause and there's no cause and effect relationship in all of science ever. It just seems that things are following because like you can't measure cause and effect. You just measure things in time, and then things seem to have a cause and effect, right?
Like, how do you name a primary cause? Sorry.
We infer a cause. There's no direct evidence of cause or effect in like a time sense.
So is
Can I get a mic check? Is this mic better, boys? We're talking about
it's
flat
better.
Earth, yeah.
It's
Yeah,
better.
man.
So Synthro,
cool.
what you're saying is there isn't an experiment to validate gravity as the cause for anything falling?
Yeah, there is no like, and we infer. I mean, it depends on what you're talking about. We infer cause and effect. We don't like demonstrate cause and effect, which is probably what this guy's talking about. But it doesn't matter because that affects like the flat world theory too. I mean,
how did we come up with this idea then of gravity being the cause of things going down?
Because we infer cause and effect, and then we have models that like based on this inference.
Based on
yeah,
what
based on
inference.
Based on what experiments?
Given the
What experiments are you getting?
like the Nicholson oil drop experiment.
Given the gravitational model, right? It
Let's
makes
hear about
sense.
that. Let's hear about that. Let's hear about his experiment. Spade, could you please mute Tippy Top? This guy is a derailer. Let's talk to Synthro.
Tippy Top, this is your last chance.
I'll shut
This is your last chance, bro. I don't want to have to mute you, man. Just take a breath, listen to what's said, get back in, then someone else jump in.
That's what I was trying to
everybody.
do. Sorry, I apologize.
Everybody's been jumping over everybody, man. I've been shouting. I managed to find my mic, so hopefully I can hear sound a bit better. So anyway, man, just be chill. Nah, it's all right, man. Fuck's sake, I know this gets a debated, emotional subject, but all you've got is emotions to hold you to the globe. You've been taught it. You got fed it before you had a critical thought in your mind. When you were at school, it's been drilled into your mind. Media
cool story,
as you
bro.
grow up.
Cool story.
Cool story, did you say?
I did say.
It's a cool story that you've been bred with the TV and models and maths, all these abstract fucking things. There's no science involved in gravity.
Yeah.
Neither gravity.
Better than being convinced by like a crazy pamphlet, right?
I'm just not afraid. I'm just not able to respond without getting muted. It's
okay.
shame.
Conspiracy pamphlets are a little bit more embarrassing than school, I think. But whatever.
Okay.
That's cool.
I have a question.
Okay, that,
No,
well,
we still have a question.
Yes,
Y'all were
yes.
talking.
You don't have to
Y'all
start
were on a
muting
train.
people.
You guys were on a conversational train. You were about to talk about the oil drop experiment, and then everything got
Yeah.
derailed.
Yeah, we're trying to get the experiment for gravity that Synthrill brought up. What's the hypothesis?
I mean, what's the hypothesis? Well, in this case, you're trying to figure out what the charge of an electron is, and the way you do this is you sputter a bunch of really tiny.
Dude. Okay, shut up. That's not an experiment for gravity causing things to go
It
down.
is
Next,
because what you do is you measure the electric
then
charge.
give me the hypothesis. Give me the hypothesis.
Well, you're going to find what the charge of a single electron is by measuring it against gravity. That's the point.
You need their hypothesis is made prior to any claims you're making in the experiment. So, where's your naturally occurring phenomena you observed? Then you form your hypothesis. Then you construct your experiment. You isolate the variables. And so, I bet.
So what's the issue with this?
If you can give us that, if you can give us a scientific experiment following the scientific method, with just as what I said, in order, observation, hypothesis, experiment, isolation of the variables.
So when you change the attractive electric field to suspend the oil drop in midair, what is the contributing force that keeps the oil drops expended? Do you have any ideas for this? Anybody?
Can you present? Can you put that in the chat, please?
Do you know the oil drop experiment?
That's what I'm
So
saying.
your
Can you put
supposed
that in the
cause.
chat?
So your supposed cause sounds like it's gravity.
Can you drop it?
I mean, what would you call it?
Please drop. We'll drop the drop. Put it in the text chat if you're able to, man.
I wouldn't call it anything yet. I'm just trying to get your experiment. Just trying to hash out the details. We want the observed
I gave you the
phenomenon.
details. What more do you need?
Well,
Can
what's
you put
the
experiment?
So
I said, can you put the experiment in the text chat, please?
You can Google it if you're into it. I mean, what do you want me to say? You can Google it if you're into it.
No,
It's a
you're
fairly
the one
famous
making the
experiment. You
claim.
can Google it.
It's not an experiment.
I've
Give us
already
a
laid out the
hypothesis.
experiment for you. What more do you need?
What's the independent
you haven't even given us the
variable?
Yeah.
What's the independent variable in this experiment of yours?
The independent variable is you can change the electric field above this oil drop that is falling, such that you can suspend it in air.
Electric field, not gravity. It's not an experiment for gravity.
Yeah, the contributing force of that's equal to gravity.
Gravity is your cause.
Minus the electric charge.
You isolate your cause. Your cause would be gravity. Your cause is not anything else you're claiming. What to do with electrons?
May I
Your
give
cause
an
is
example?
gravity. Oh fuck!
Would that be okay if I gave an example?
So
I'm wondering so I gave you the experiment, and I'm wondering what your issue with it is.
It has nothing to do with gravity or testing it as a causal factor in anything, so it's irrelevant.
So how do you suspend? So how do you suspend an electron in this experiment in midair? Like, since all you have is two attractive forces, one of which is pulling up. Like, how is it suspended? What's the other force in the equation that suspends it?
You already told us it was due to the electric field. That's the independent variable that you manipulated. We needed an experiment to show gravity as the cause for some sort of observed phenomenon. You gave us electric field, so this isn't what we want.
Electric field pulls it up, and then what's suspending? So we have an electron, right? Or sorry, you have an oil drop with one free electron, and the one free electron has some, electromagnetism about it, and you have an electric field above the oil drop that's pulling it up. How come the oil drop isn't floating upwards? Instead, it is floating in free space. What is the other force in the equation that is holding it in free space? That's pulling it in the opposite direction of the field.
Is it gravity?
Yeah. So
that would be
correct. Exactly.
So how was that manipulated?
How is what manipulated?
Well, you told us it's not the IV. That would be your supposed cause, the thing that you want to manipulate to test its effects on the observed phenomenon. So that's what gravity should have been, but you went with electric field. Right now you ask us a question, well, what's making it go back down when I stop giving it electric charge? Well, I don't know. Manipulate that, because that's what we're trying to get to. And besides, things going down still is non sequitur overall to the point of the Earth being a rotating, wobbling sphere or a plane or whatever you want to say it is.
Yeah, so you haven't said anything against this. You're just complaining about it? I don't understand. What's your objection to this?
Well, you said it was an experiment for gravity, and then you gave us an experiment for electric fields, right? Okay, so
it's
what's
both.
the independent?
You have to have it's both factors. You have using. What do you mean? You can change your electric field, and you're going to find that the oil drop is going to be suspended, which means some unaccounted force that has to act upon the oil drop to suspend it. The unaccounted force is called, drum roll please, it's called gravity.
Okay, gravity, unaccounted for force, and you're going to manipulate something that you can't account for.
You can manipulate something which is
So
a field
unaccounted
which
for.
you can use to measure gravity.
So basically, you're telling me you don't even know what it is that makes it actually go back
We
down.
do know
So
what it is.
that's
It's called gravity.
How did you
It
manipulate
is. It's called gravity.
But you just defined gravity as unaccounted for force.
Yeah, it's
Unaccounted for
it's the unaccounted for force in the equation that otherwise unlabeled would be called gravity. It is gravity.
So you're going to manipulate
and you
something
can
you
measure
shouldn't
it.
account for.
We can't account for it. It's called gravity. It is what it is. Like, and it works across like every experiment. What do you want me to say?
Listen, boys, I need to say it. Listen, I've been trying to say this. Listen, I've been trying to say this. Old dude, that you're unmuted, bro. If you want to speak, I'm sorry, I forgot all about you. On you go, boys.
Is that little g gravity?
Little g gravity. It's big G gravity. What do you mean?
Is it little g gravity or big G gravity?
It's little G gravity.
Which
little G gravity?
Yeah,
Is
it's
it
What
Newtonian
is little
big
G
G?
gravity?
little
Okay,
g
so-
gravity, as in it's just free falling, right? Big G
Yes.
is Newtonian constant. And all
This
that
is all I was trying to get. It's little g gravity. That's just the effect of things going down. Yes, we all know
Yeah.
things go down. Okay, so
Yeah, things going
What do
down
you mean,
doesn't
yeah,
prove
so?
any specific theory of gravity.
Yeah,
it's
it
just
doesn't.
part of this experiment that you have something that's falling and you have to account for that.
Yeah, but that happens all around us all the time. We know
Yeah,
stuff goes down. So what?
Can I
who
get-
cares?
So I agree.
Yeah, so then you shouldn't complain about the experiment so much. If you have another
No,
thing
it's
you
not
want
an
to complain
experiment,
about,
because
you should talk
listen
about
to what I
something
just
else to
said.
complain
Hold on,
about.
Cicero,
It is an
Cicero,
experiment.
Cicero.
1 second, excuse me.
One at a time,
Excuse
man.
me, you
You're gonna
finish your
have to
sentence.
start
I'm
muting
saying
people,
something,
man.
and you're interrupting me.
Hell,
Look,
I
you have a
wasn't
problem.
done. I
You already
wasn't
understood.
done.
You were
I
done.
wasn't
Excuse me. You
I
said that
wasn't
you had a problem
Fuck's sake,
experiment,
man.
and
I'm
I
gonna have to mute
demonstrated
you.
it
Shut
uses
the fuck
gravity.
up.
Now that you
Listen,
understand what gravity is,
done.
you can now
Does
complain
everybody
and
want to
bring up
shut
another
up?
subject.
Okay, but
I wasn't
you'll use
Can
done.
everybody
Hold on,
shut up,
Post
please?
Demon. I
Listen, I'm
wasn't
gonna
done
have to
though.
mute all you goobers, man, if you're not gonna shut the fuck up. All
I
yous are
wasn't
talking
done.
at once.
I wasn't done
Right,
though.
finish what you're saying. No, that's what I'm saying. Finish what you're saying, Heretic. Fuck's
Yeah.
sake.
Yeah, so little g, that's the effect of going things down. Independent variable, that is your supposed cause, not the effect. So you're describing the effect and trying to somehow sort of insert it in some way into the independent variable, but it's not because it's the effect, right? Little g is just things going down. That's the observed phenomenon. What you want to test is why that happens. That would be your independent variable. So you got it all fucked up. This is a mess of an experiment.
You're always measuring the effects of things. That's just physics. What do you want? Like,
So to clarify, because I think there was to clarify, you don't want an experiment that shows that gravity exists. You want an experiment that shows gravity comes from what we
No.
theorize it to, right?
Well,
the mass.
No,
He's
bro.
flip-flopping between
If mass attracts mass, we expect that your claim of gravity to be isolated with an independent variable in the experiment. But before that, we need a hypothesis based on a natural observation. So something falls, I take it that's what your observation is, you form your hypothesis and then construct your experiment. If you manipulate your independent variable and change the dependent variable, you can back what you've said or falsify, whatever the fuck. But that's what we expect for an experiment. It's rigid, the scientific method
May I
is
give
what
an
it is.
account? May
If
I
you've
give
got
an
an experiment, lay it out, hypothesis,
All right,
go for
so
it. Start
here's
at the
the
very start.
hypothesis. Here's the hypothesis, right? Based on air resistance, right? Based on the
mate.
how big an object is, we will see a difference in its full speed, right? In virtue of its mass, right? And if we
What did you
account for, if we get rid of air resistance based on the force, if our theory of gravity is correct, these objects will fall at the same speed because the same force is acting on both of them, and it has nothing to do with the object's buoyancy.
It's
So if
just
we
an
take a
observed
feather,
phenomenon.
so if we take a feather,
you know,
if we
mass
take a
attracts
feather
mass.
and a bowling ball and we drop them in a vacuum, they will fall at the same rate because they are being acted on by the same force of gravity. That is a constant.
That doesn't quite prove the theory of gravity because the theory of gravity has other things.
Well,
You're
yeah, but
flip-flopping.
hang on. But
You're
you're talking
flip-flopping.
about the mathematical Einsteinian notion. I'm just giving you an experiential basis, right?
Yeah, you're flip-flopping though. On one hand, you're calling gravity little g, which would
I
be
was
the
talking about
effect.
Newtonian gravity.
But these guys are flip-flopping though. They're interchangeably using gravity as a term for cause then effect. First of all, they say it's little g, which is the effect, the observation.
They're saying
that
it
things
is
go
the
down.
cause, though.
Right? Yeah, no, but it's not, because little g is the effect. So then if you turn around and say, oh, it's the cause, now you're saying the cause is the effect, is the cause is the effect. It's incoherent, right? So
well, we're not
when you say
denying that there are effects
in
to this
physics, all
cause,
you
but
do
we're
is
just
measure
saying we're
effects.
observing.
Stop
We're just saying
talking
that
over
we
each other, man.
observed the effect of these objects falling, and we're
Just
trying to describe the cause of those, how they fall. Why do they fall at a uniform rate? We're saying that cause is this gravitational constant, okay? And that's
I'm
sure we're
I'm
not denying that there may be causes for that, but we're talking about this cause now.
Yeah, but you keep
In physics,
the
what you
problem
measure
is
are
that
effects, and you infer causes. That's how science works.
You keep using gravity interchangeably, though, as the effect, then the cause, as the effect, then the cause. You keep flip
Well,
flopping it.
that will be an effect of a prior cause, right? Whether it's a mass of an object like the Earth, right? There's going to be a cause for why that constant is what it is.
Right. So something goes down. You say it's at a roughly agreed upon rate, 9.8 meters per second squared. That would be the effect. That's little g. When you're saying that gravity is little g, that's the effect. That's the thing you saw. But then when you go, gravity was the cause for the thing I saw, after saying that the thing that you saw was gravity, you're just saying cause is
I
effect.
think you're
Is
just
cause is
confusing
effect. Is
yourself
cause is effect.
when you try. Yeah, because if we look at it like this, right? You know, the theological account would be, you know, every effect has a fucking cause, and each cause has a prior cause, right? So that would be like a regress back to the original cause, which is like, you know, God or whatever, you know, created the universe. Could just be like an impersonal sciencey thing.
So little g, that's stuff going down. That's the effect of things going down. That's gravity, right?
Yeah. I don't know the
what causes
difference between
that?
big G and little g though. So when you keep on saying big G and little g, I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, he's talking about, as far as I can tell, like the effect of something isn't the same thing as the thing itself, right? So like whatever causes. So for instance, like this person could advocate that's actually God's spooky hand that's like pulling everything down, but the effect of that we call gravity or something. And so this person was like, hey, you know that the effect of something isn't the same thing as the thing that causes it, and it was like, okay. Well, in science, what you do is you take the total sum. The total sum of like all the effects is what we call a word. Like the total sum of all the forces that seem to act coherently for all experiments, we call that gravity. And we see that it acts according to like mass pulling on mass because we have lots of experiments that demonstrate this.
And
so
I mean, I would
this
agree
isn't
with
like.
that,
So there we go.
Physics,
so that's the experiment. That's the experiment that he
physics
wants.
just tells us what things do. It doesn't tell us what things are, right? Which I would agree with. But then, you know, if we're trying to describe what things do, like you're taking issue with like something that is outside of the field of physics to, you know, have an issue with the field of physics.
Yeah, he has a metaphysical problem.
It's very simple, okay? Newton's law of universal gravitation relies on big G, okay? The oil drop experiment does not use big G, so the oil drop experiment does not verify or rely upon big G.
You're complaining about a metaphysical conception of the universe, and also Einstein does not rely on big G.
The Cavendish experiment.
No, Einstein's
we don't need
theory
to
of
bring
gravity does not rely on big G.
To bring in Einstein.
It does, well, you said something wrong. I thought I'd correct you. It actually doesn't rely on.
Are both.
It doesn't rely on big G. It doesn't like require a specific conception
big G,
of physics.
Okay, so the Newtonian gravity, right? Force is equal to big G times the masses divided by the square of the radius. Right, big G just converts like your specific weight in kilograms to how much force is exerted upon you.
Are you confusing big? So in this conversation, are we talking about big G as in the constant, or big G as in the idea of what causes gravity?
Oh my goodness!
Yes, the idea whether it's mass, or you're saying where mass attracts mass, or space time.
Because big G is a constant in that equation, which is different from what we're calling big G in this conversation, which is the cause of gravity.
You can't use the effect and conflate the two.
I thought you meant the Newtonian gravitational constant.
Yeah, you would need the radius of the Earth for that. He used that in his calculation for the gravitational constant. So who measured that?
Some asshole with a stick in a well about like a couple thousand years ago. Like, what do you mean? A lot of people measured this.
Okay, how? Detail the process.
Why? How's that relevant to this conversation?
So we can find out how you know that the Earth is a globe. Because we've never had anybody actually.
I mean, this particular asshole, he used sticks in a well at the same time of year, measured the number of paces between like two different cities, and then measured the shadow distance, right?
Okay,
so if I got something 24, you got something with like what 24,000 miles roughly.
So if I got it right, so you got one angle to the sun here, another angle to the sun there, and therefore you're on a globe with a circumference.
Yeah, I mean, this is how this guy did it.
Well, it sounds like begging the question. It sounds like he's just
begging the question.
he's assuming the globe in the first place. He goes, it's a globe, and shadows are diverging because the sunlight is parallel and because the surface is curved, and assuming all that, I'm going to go do these calculations and find out how big this globe is that I assumed in the first place. But how did he actually know in the first place that there was a globe to solve the circumference for?
He didn't know. He just picked a model that best fit the data. Like,
it's not,
what do you want?
It's not just begging a question, it's affirming a consequent as well.
That's fallacious. So
it's
that's
not begging the question. That's just like you don't know what it means to beg the question if that's what you're saying.
Yeah, no.
He just came up with a model to explain the data, which is not the same thing as begging the question.
No, the conclusion is in his premise. The conclusion being globe, or at least it is the way that.
Well, the conclusion wasn't the premise. The premise was like, I'm gonna measure some shadow stuff and see what happens. What if it went the opposite direction? Then you'd have to conclude we're on the inside of a sphere or something. But that isn't what happened.
They would
like
go the opposite
to say the
direction.
conclusion wasn't foregone from the premise. It wasn't begging the question. You just don't know what you're talking about.
No, it is. It is begging the question the way.
If it was completely flat, then it would be completely flat, and then there's also like experiment for that too. The fact that the experiment allowed for multiple outcomes and didn't prescribe a certain outcome. Dude, why are you over talking?
Because you're trying to get away from it.
I'm not trying to get away from it. You said something wrong.
He assumed. No, I didn't. You're saying
you
something
did.
wrong.
You're completely wrong because you said that the. You said the experiment presumed the conclusion.
He's in a spiral now. He's been called out, and
it's not a spiral.
You haven't even addressed his arguments yet. You're just sort of ad hominem him right now, saying he's in a spiral and shit.
Oh, I have addressed it. I've already told him that the globe was taken as a given in the first place. It was assumed in the first place.
No, it wasn't. They didn't know
it was
in the first place.
It wasn't.
They had no idea the Earth was a globe in 300 BC.
Okay. I'll just ask you all the same questions all over again then. So you got one angle to the sun here, another angle to the sun there. Therefore, the Earth is a globe with a circumference to solve for. Explain.
It's just geometry. What do you want?
It's just geometry. That's your whole explanation? Someone want to help him out?
Hold on. Wait.
Yes, it's called go back to middle school and learn math.
Okay. What Heretic is trying to ask is, with the same observations, you could assume that the sun is low to the Earth and causing the same two angles.
Yep.
But that model doesn't explain everything else that the globe model does.
It doesn't explain anything. Try explaining the sunsets on a flat Earth. That doesn't work.
You can't make a model of flat Earth that solves for seasons and night and day at the same time.
Dude, it's just
wait a minute, man. He asked for the sun, how the sun works. Somebody want to take it? Heretic or Cyclone? He asked, go for it.
Well, we still haven't gotten their globe radius though, so they have nothing still. So what do we need to talk about?
There is a globe.
Radius. What do you mean?
Okay, but how do you know it's a globe?
That's the question. So we've got the radius. You're asking about whether or not it's a globe.
Well, first, before you get the radius, you need to even know that there is a radius to get. So how do you know that?
No.
Yes.
You just if it's a globe, then we have the radius. How we get the radius is pretty established.
What is your profession?
See, old friend, I brought more soldiers than you did.